Yeah.
That's a dope video.
Yeah, it is.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the HELLION Art Show. I'm your host, Rini. We have a lovely panel tonight and an actual topic of discussion. I prepared. I have something to talk about. So very glad to see you guys. Well, like twice, but I'm trying to actually have some structure to this show, because usually it's just, let me come on and shoot the shit. And no, I don't know what I'm doing. But, today we will be, first of all, we have a featured guest, John Hervey of Beyond Time, Inc. And he will be promoting his book, Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon, that is ending in 3 days, right? 3 days. 3 days left to get it. So we'll be talking about that. But to kind of tie into the theme of John's book, which is it's a martial arts book. And we will be talking about what makes a good action scene in comic, because I think everyone here has experience doing that. So why doesn't let's have the panel introduce themselves. Why don't I start with you, John?
All right, John Hervey. I guess in terms of comics, I've been in comics for a while. I was first published in the mid-90s at Motown Machine Works, which was in the Mid-Wilshire district of LA. Motown actually had during the booming 90s of comics, actually had a comic book division that was published by Image. So that's kind of where I got my start. And and then kind of long story short, I am fully enjoying being an indie creator, and I would never go back.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
What I'm saying.
What I'm saying. Indie's where it's at. If you've been around my show, you know I'm all about the indies. I mean, all comics, but I am a supporter of indies because I like doing indies. Yes, I am. Yes. Oh, yeah. So, Vinny, you're a regular at this point. You've been on for like 5 weeks straight. But
yeah.
In case there's anyone new, well, James is new, and we're just meeting. This is my first time meeting James.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Yeah. So, hello, welcome to the show. I am meeting you for the first time through A.C. and Nick Zamudio. So
yeah, I've been working with I know you guys all call him Nick, but I've been calling him Carlos forever. Is it cool if I call you Carlos on the show?
We're confused too.
I think that it's a every time I come over. Apparently, yeah, it's just any part of the day.
I wonder why it's just every time you call.
Yeah, so I'm writing my first comic that Carlos is drawing incredible freaking action sequences in.
Nice.
Speaking of action,
nice tie-in.
Yeah, I can't wait to explore that. So working on my first comic and hoping to be indie comics regular in the future.
Fantastic. Well, you are in the right crowd. You're in the right place.
That'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude.
Go ahead, Vinny.
Oh no, I was gonna say Since I finally have my camera on today again, because I'm working on a different program that I could use it on. So you guys know me. You know me. They call me
They
the
know
fulfill-
you.
They
They
call me
know
the
you.
fulfillment king.
Books in
Nice.
the fulfillment king.
There's a reason for it. Yes, former lead
Yes.
designer McFarlane Toys. I did stuff with Diamond, Diamond Select, Randy
cool.
Bowman, a bunch of different places. Covers for Image, Hack and Slash, stuff like that. But again, I'm all about the indies as well. I love creating my own projects, and yeah, we're gonna keep doing this, and it's gonna be a good time. Over on my streams on Sunday, Reni's taking over there as well, and it's awesome because we always have a good time. And yeah, it's not just shooting the shit. We do talk about some good topics, and today we're going to have another great one, and I think that is important. Going over the action sequences, fighting sequences, it's good stuff. So, hell yeah!
Yeah.
Hello, everyone in chat.
Yes. Hello, chat.
How's Kraken coming along, man?
Good. I'm doing a lot of work on that. Taking a small break so I could get a couple other pieces done. You guys got a little sneak peek of a. I think it's going to be a cover. Yeah, Brian.
Slow you down. Fucking Brian.
We love Brian.
I love Brian. But
Sorry, Brian. We're here to complain about people who aren't even on the show.
Yeah, you're getting the business because you're not on here.
Here I thought that he was maybe like on the comments or something, and you guys were just shooting the shit. I was trying to keep up. Did I miss something on the comments here?
I think everyone's just saying hi to each other. Wacky Swacky, is this your first? I don't. Oh, I've seen you around. Hail, what's up? Hello, Unhinged, Jason. You're also
Jason.
a regular in the
Jason.
chat as well.
Hell yeah.
Hello, Vinny and his ladies. Vinny and his lady. We know he's all about his ladies. Luis Ledesma. Did I say that right? Yes, I did. Oh, this is like the third time I've tried to. Yeah, I know how to say your name. I did it.
Third time is the charm.
I think I struggled a bit, but I did it right from the beginning. There you go. John says, "Where's Brian?" Oh, there he is under the bus. No, we're not here to throw you under the bus. No, we're not doing
Better
that.
reverse the bus. Go back.
No, and run over here again.
Oh my God.
We love Brian.
New
No,
topic is
Brian.
running over people.
Yeah, we tend to go off topic a lot. It's complicated. The Ryan Cardinal, hello, what's up? All right, cool. We've got a really active chat today, and I'm very happy. Yay! Well, people actually want to watch my show. I'm still shocked. It's like really amazing. And we've got AC and Nick / Carlos Zamudio. Carlos is my colorist on Fiendish, in case there's anyone new to the show and didn't know that. And AC is actually also helping me on Fiendish now. She is doing the trading cards that I showed last week, and they're looking very, very fantastic.
They look awesome.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. She does amazing work, and I'm trying to get her to come on the show more so people know about her.
Okay. I'm also the artist for Shadow Roads and Death Follows, and I also did a mini series for The Six Gun as well.
So
Oh, nice.
cool.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
That is awesome.
AC, can I ask you, how is it working with Colin Bunn? Because I love so many of his books.
I mean, I really like working with him. We're pretty tight as a work team, but we're kind of in a transition period at the moment, trying to like start up a new project and stuff. But
awesome.
I really like working with him.
I think a good way in which we've been describing it is very hands-on. Really,
Yeah.
that's been very liberating. Whenever we work on things, we can just kind of make decisions on the parts of the project. So it doesn't feel constricting as some other projects.
That's cool.
That we worked on in the past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
my
so
experience.
cool.
I've only did like a one pager for him, but he was like very hands off. I was like, "Is this okay?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." I was like, "I changed this thing from the script. Is it okay?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." So very, very chill.
I rewrote the script. Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
There's a new main character and setting, but I'm sure it's fine.
So I made it so I just changed your story to tie in with Fiendish. She's like, "Yeah, sure." I'm just kidding. I didn't. Can I put my own characters in here? I should have tried that.
Next
Probably
time.
wouldn't have applied. Yeah, next time. If there's a next time. Let's see. Well, cool. So glad you guys can join me today. Tokamai says, to me, don't sell yourself short. Your shows are entertaining. I try. And you featuring other artists and creators, we get to interact with with my amazing art. Well, not as amazing as everyone else here. While sharing their own, it's a good thing. I'm glad you think so, and I'm glad you're joining us again. I'm so touched. Best people. All right, Lord Raven, how are the plaques coming? I don't want to talk about it. They're coming along, but more importantly, I have I'm actually focusing on the 4 extra pages because I have to get this book to print like within a week too, because I want to fulfill the grayscale books on time for Fiendish. Because I promised August fulfillment, and I know that because of the colors, we're going to be delivering the colors a month later, but I'm going to fulfill the grayscales in August. I am determined to do everything I can. So those pages come first, but the plaques were always going to be fulfilled in like September, October, and I put that on the Indiegogo. But they're coming along, and I enjoy doing them. You know, it's just a lot of other things to manage. But honestly, once the pages are out of the way, and once I color the trading cards and everything's off to print, it won't be that bad. Like packing books is, I don't find that stressful. It's kind of fun. I'll probably stream when I start, you know, fulfilling and packing books.
It's just time consuming is what it is.
Yeah, but you know, you find a friend and you get a few beers. It'll be good. Yeah.
Don't get too many beers.
Hopefully ship it to the right address.
Exactly.
No, just a couple.
Exactly.
Not too many. Okay. I will send everybody the right products. Now everybody's never backing you again. Scotsman, what's up? Hey!
Hail, brother.
Haven't seen you in a while. Hail. What's up, brother?
Yeah, we're gonna get him on another one.
Eric McIntyre, won't that cost you a lot on shipping? If I'm waiting to get both colored and grayscale together. Oh, well, I'm shipping the pure grayscale orders first. So like if people only ordered the grayscale books. So, yeah, and because the colors will be printed a month later. So yeah, sorry. I want to give Carlos enough time to do a really good job on the colors, and he is doing a good job, but I don't want to rush things. Right. But yeah, I will. If you ordered color and grayscale, I'll ship them together. So
that's cool. Eric is awesome. He's super. I mean, on the last campaign that I did for Magna, like being the smart guy that I am, the folks that got the biggest tiers, the best stuff, they had to wait like way longer than everybody else because they had to wait for their commissions. But people like him were like super. Just super understanding. Cause it's just like, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should have sent the books and then sent the commission separately. It's just like, making people wait. It's just tough decisions. You're trying to be financially sound. You're trying to be financially sound, but then you also, it's like, other people that just got the book had already gotten their book. And folks like him who got the commission in a book were still waiting. And I'm just like, dude.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead, Vinny.
No, I was going to say, I definitely know how it goes with all that stuff. But I think once people start to see that, others are getting it in hand, at least they know that it's coming. The delay is obviously for like, that original artwork, those pieces. And yeah, they're a little bit more special. So we're putting extra care into that kind of stuff. But yeah, Eric has been fantastic. He's a great supporter of all of ours. Hail, brother. Yeah, man.
Yes, Eric, you're awesome. Yeah, I think communication is the most important thing with crowdfunding. Like what part you're in the process, and like the thing is like don't be like 6 months after fulfillment and no updates, and you're not answering people's messages. Like that's a bad look. But just update people and tell them where you're at. And people don't like. I intend to be as on time as possible, and I've learned my lesson from doing chapter 1. I'm going to fulfill partially in August, but now that for chapter 2, we'll do it in color from the start, so everything will like be fulfilled the same month. But like it's communication. Like I haven't had anybody complain about you have to take some extra time to do original art. It's just tell people, just keep people updated so they know you're not ripping them off basically.
Sure. Yep.
That's not good. Yeah.
That's what you see on campaigns that people actually have a bunch of problems with. Even when they're fulfilling stuff, if they just stay quiet for too long, people just feel disconnected and there's doubt, and then they start having side conversations about whether or not this person's going to run away with the money and whatever.
Yep. Because that has happened before.
I'm taking copious notes from everything you guys are saying.
Cool. Well,
don't run away with all the money.
No, do not run away with money unless you talk to everyone and trick them.
Well, no, don't run away with money. Period. Well, you won't, because the book is getting done, and I've actually I know Carlos has been working on the pages. So.
Oh yeah, and for the Kickstarter we're doing now, everything's completely done. So.
Awesome.
No one's breaking our legs.
Cool.
Knocking on our door.
That would not be good. Lola is here. Hello, Lola and her lovely icon.
Hello.
You're here. We love Lola. Awesome. Yes,
she
Lola
had me on her
amazing.
show earlier.
Oh, I haven't been on her show yet. She always streams in the middle of the night.
No,
I know.
I'm asleep by the time she does her show, so she did an early show because she knows.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll like after this show, I'm gonna go lay it down.
Where is everyone from here on the chat? Oh, I meant on the stream. I'm still used to it.
Yeah, you can also tell us where you are. I'm in Atlanta or around Atlanta.
I'm in Houston.
Oh, okay.
South Florida.
Gotcha. I'm in New York. Wow, we're all over.
Mostly
time
like
zones.
a lot of people are East Coast time, but
I used to be New York. If you
New York.
tell.
New York.
Yeah, that's not a Florida accent. That's not a Florida accent.
Yo, hey, y'all.
How in New York can Vinny sound? That is our test today.
Yeah, I'm from Florida.
Right, very believable.
You guys make fun of it, but I honestly, I'm really, I have a really hard time picking up North American accents. For me, I keep assuming that just Vinny just talks normal.
No, he's not very New York, but he sounds a little bit like, you know.
Yeah.
Even in New York,
definitely hear the New York in Vinny.
Yeah.
You're not. I feel like the New York accent is nowhere near as common as it used to be. Like, unless you're in Long Island or Staten Island, most people aren't going to sound like they're from Taxi Driver. Like,
it depends. When I was living up there, they were really bad ones.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh my God, yeah. But then again, like the area I was in, I lived in Glendale, from Queens.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So those type of the guineas in the corner with their takinis still until like the 2000s. It's like, well, you're a couple of decades too late.
I feel like it's a generational thing where like parents will be like, "Hey, have a good day at school, Joey," and then Joey will be like, "Sure, okay."
Kind of. Yeah, like my grandpa had like the most New York accent ever, but then nobody in the generations after really did. But I think it depends. It's a bit generational.
But I think Bostonians, despite generation, I think they
have they're weird.
Okay,
yeah.
I know, why aren't there more Bostonian stereotypes? I feel like they're like more northeast than New York.
Yeah,
there should. We need to make fun of Bostonians more, is what I'm saying. So let's do that. I endorse it. Oliver,
from
Boston.
Then Rennie, make sure you go on. Her name is escaping me. Oh snap! What is? Oh my gosh! Who are
you talking about?
I can't remember.
I'll talk to the chat.
It's all right. It's all right.
I don't distract with those. John Page is here. Hello.
Take a sip of water. Calm down. Breathe.
Oh,
Scotsman is in Cali. You're in Cali. You live in the past. You do.
Shout out to the time traveler in the chat.
You're time travelers. Oh my gosh. And Shadowhawk is here. Hello. All right. We need to actually move on with the show. John, have you remembered who we were going to mention?
Man, my brain is still farting.
Okay. All right. Well, feel free to just burst out with like, I remembered at any time.
Yeah, I'll say it at some point when nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's the plan. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Somebody who did you wrong? No.
No.
Well, you were going to mention someone's show.
Because she's Bostonian.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because like she does a great interview, but then you start hearing like ka pak, and I'm just like, where are you from? Oh, you're trying to hide that Bostonian accent, aren't you?
Don't know who you're talking about, but
I'm driving myself crazy now.
I'll think about it too because I watch a lot of streamers, but I can't think of anything right now. But yeah,
me neither.
Anyways,
it's gonna come to me.
So yeah, it will. It'll eventually.
Oh, Kayla.
Do
you know Comics and Cleve? Kayla Adrian?
No, I don't.
Okay. You should go on her show though, because it would be fun if the two of you are on the show.
Okay.
It would be fun.
Cool. All right. Is she also like bursting with energy and can't shut up?
She's awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys would just be like energy. Like,
you know, I think I've heard that name mentioned. I've heard people tell me it was like, go on her show. You guys will just create a singularity with how fast you talk and with all the energy you have.
Just be a ball of light. That's all you'll see.
Look at my comic. You look at my comic. Okay.
You're like Flashpoint, be Rainy Point.
Yeah. Come look at your show. Look at my comic. Look at my comic. Go right now. My fetish. Okay. All right. We need to get to the topic of discussion. We have a wonderful panel tonight. Let's use our time wisely. So, since everyone here is very experienced in comics and very passionate about what we do, I pose one question to you all to start with. What do you think is the most important thing to do when creating an action scene in comics? Or just in general, how do you go about creating action scenes in comics? I didn't really think this through that much, but
dynamic
talk
movement.
About how you do it.
I think dynamic movement is key, especially you're going to do an action sequence. And if you're having a fight sequence happening, you should do it at least in 3 parts. I mean, some people get away with 2, but at least you have 3. You'll have like the wind up, the actual action, the connection, and then the aftermath. That's usually a good way of going about it. So that's about 3 panels, and you would typically like the hit would actually be the biggest shot. You know, so that's more of like the splash page or that kind of image that you want. If that's what the script is saying too, if that's the most important kind of sequence that you're gonna have in that page, then yeah. Otherwise, you'd have to draw the eye in a certain way. And again, if it's a series of different shots, so it kind of depends too, like I said, on the story and, you know, what you kind of get across. But if it's just for that fun and just to have that, you want that action happening, then yeah, that's usually the way I go about it anyway.
Yeah, I find that drawing the eye is really important for action scenes. And what's helped me is I would always, for some reason in college, I had this professor, whom I will not name, who was otherwise very great, but who told me that the 180 rule doesn't have to apply when you're drawing comics. And I learned the hard way that was very bad advice. I'll tell you later who it was, Ariel.
It doesn't have to apply, but you have to be very... you have to have a reason when you break that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just go willy-nilly, because then you just look like you have a very bad idea of how to do staging and pacing.
Yeah, and then you just confuse the reader.
Yeah, I think the rules are a little different than if on screen. Obviously, like the page layout reading is more important than say the 180, because it's not the same as like just doing storyboards. But you know, generally, not breaking 180 is important unless it's like someone is throwing a person, and then you can totally break 180. It's like you switch places or something. So that's kind of different.
I think it depends, but I actually prioritize the 180 rule over that, because especially in a fight scene, things are supposed to go fast. You're supposed to know where somebody is, and there's often people moving around and stuff. And so you need to know where people are, where they're going, where they're punching, whatever it is. And so I really do prioritize the 180 rule in action scenes.
Yeah.
I often put like page layout as like lower on the rungs of the priority list. I know it suffers sometimes, but it's like I think that there's sometimes higher priorities.
But you do tend to go less experimental with the page layouts as well. You do like to grid them out a lot more than actually breaking out of panel or doing inset panels. So I think it makes a lot more sense for you, because you actually do prioritize placement, plus to never get lost on there. And I think when people are trying to put more priority on flow or trying to change things up, it can be a lot more difficult to kind of find that place as well. So
I am trying to like experiment with like kind of thinking out a little outside of the box, literally, but like yeah, clarity is probably the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Could someone actually explain the 180 rule to me? I just write, so I'm not familiar with it. It sounds kind of intuitive though.
No, James, think about it like
Nick and I are talking to each other right now, and he's on one side and I'm on the other.
You can't go to a panel and have us immediately swap out the camera from looking from us from this side to the other side. because
Okay.
it will be intuitive to understand what character is character A and character B, but if you keep swapping like that, placement can get really jumbled.
Yeah, so like the 180,
Understood.
like he always stays on the left, on the right. I always stay on the left, or whatever you guys are looking at. So like the camera would have to be somewhere within this.
I think James wants us to shut up.
Oh no, I'm just saying okay. Like I'm following you.
Okay, you can stop.
He's like okay.
No,
I got it.
I want you guys to know when I'm saying okay, I'm like, okay, I hear you. Please keep going. Like I'm genuinely love to learn.
Nick, don't strike Ariel.
Not punch each other right now. My channel's totally going down.
That's cool. So it sounds like it's useful for clarity, like so that it when you're watching a fight scene, you can understand where everything and everyone is, and it just makes it flow more smoothly. Okay.
You will actually hear that on cinematography more than comics. Like it's people there. That's where it comes because you're working with the camera and placement.
To be fair, though, comics terminology does borrow a lot from cinematography. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, James, if you're like me as a writer, you know, you're more of like a writer director, and your artist is more of like the cinematographer. So like for me, having grown up loving like kung fu theater and things of that nature, I mean, it's like I like to choreograph a fight, but really my artist Rod, he's really the one that really kind of locks in, I think, on the flow of the fight, because I'll look at it and I'll be very descriptive. I never script the Marvel way. I'm very descriptive about the things that I want, not for the sake that I'm trying to pin the artist down, but I want the artist to know what I'm trying to do, because oftentimes once the artist knows what I'm trying to do, they can do it better.
For sure.
So, you know, I'm very descriptive about what it is I'm trying to achieve. And then he's like, okay, I see where you're trying to go. This will work, but we can do it in a different kind of like with not the way you set the panels up, but the way, you know, but like this. Or he'll be like, no, that's just not going to translate.
Of course.
Or, you know, every once in a while, I was like, that's actually a good idea. And what I do usually, though, is I have an idea of how I want the fight to flow. And it's like Vinny said, I want someone to be able to go from panel to panel and see the flow of the fight, see the momentum, see what's going on with the character. So being someone who is artistically challenged, I'll provide different references. So I'll provide, I will provide screenshots from movies that I like. I'll do some work with like some 3D modeling to show things, just so the artist can see what it is that I'm trying to get done here. So like for me, it's like this scene. But really, he did a masterful job with the cinematography here. So like, I described what I wanted with the scene. Like, you know, you have the Aboriginal characters coming to surround her, and then they start to overtake her. Then she does like a spinning kick. But like you see, like he's the one that really did the cinematography. You see the angle that he used for the first panel. It's kind of like up in the trees down.
Yeah, it's like a very good establishing shot, so you know where everything is.
And that's something I just kind of said, hey, this is what I want to happen. But he knows how to stage things. So you have your establishing shot, you know, then you can kind of get in on the action, and you can kind of see the consequences of the actions, and you don't need any words, right? You've got to flow. And I think, you know, ultimately with comics being a visual medium, I mean, the words are important, but one of the things I learned when I was working at Motown Animation, we would sometimes go up to Golden Apple and just like go through books together. And I was with my boss, Michael Davis, and he was he's actually one of the founders of Milestone. He's one of the creators of Static Shock.
Oh, wow.
So
awesome.
I'm with Michael, and he's going through a book. Like when I pick up a comic, I just start on page 1 and I start reading.
Okay.
He picks up the book. He's flipping page to page, going through every panel. And I'm like, what are you doing? Aren't you kind of ruining the story? You're not even reading it. He's like, well, the art is telling the story and the writing is telling the story. He's like, first I should be able to go through the book and just follow the flow of the art. Yeah. And I should be able to know the majority of what's going on.
For sure. Know?
That's true.
Visual medium.
True.
And then he's like, then I should be able to come back and the words should just be like the small rocks and the pebbles. that are filling in the stuff that I wasn't able to see. He's like, if the writer is telling me things that I can already see, that's not good writing. But if the writer is not telling me the things that I can't see that I need to be able to bridge the gap, that's not good writing either. So it's really, you can write a very fulsome script, but it doesn't, the artist will probably portray the majority of what you wrote. You know, so it's like you'll have some dialogue that will give you connectivity, but you know, you have all the stuff that you write, but then like the artist, like this scene right here is kind of a Jackie Chan homage.
I can see that.
So you see, like,
I see the influences.
Yeah, she's blocking the knife with the stapler, and the dude's in a chair that rolls. So she's moving the dude around in his chair as the assassin's trying to stab him.
Yeah, Jackie Chan always uses items, like random like household items to fight, and this is very Jackie Chan.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
I always wonder if he gets a script, or I'm sure like if he just walks into a room and choreographs the fight, or he says, you know what, I want to work with a stapler today and a moving chair.
That is, I don't know. I wonder as well.
He's done both. I remember seeing some stuff on him, and if there's a specific scene that he wants certain things to be there, they'll make sure that they're there. But the day of, if he walks in with his guys, they'll figure out like a whole sequence, and they'll use whatever the hell is there. And so sometimes it is kind of like, it's like that, exactly like artists and writers work. You know, so sometimes if the writer doesn't put it all down, and he's leaving it for interpretation for the artist, that they could add extra stuff or make that sequence even better. That's what you do. You got to do a little bit of free balling. Is that right?
Yeah,
I hear that.
It's collaboration.
In my collaborations with Carlos, I'll write a moderate amount for action sequences, but I'll always put, hey, if you think something it would look cooler here or would convey what I'm trying to express here more, go crazy. And I am usually very pleasantly surprised. It's especially that last sequence that you brought in issue 3, the Night Terror. So freaking cool, man. Really impressed with that.
Oh, can't wait to see it.
When you said Night Terror, is that the name of the character?
No.
Do you know the characters that you're drawing?
No, since we're talking about comics, it sounds like something that someone would call a character. But that scene in particular I had a lot of fun with. And just the fact that we had props, which I wanted to bounce off of what we were mentioning previously, since John was talking about the influences from Jackie Chan. When Irene said that the original question, and like, what do we find important on action scenes? I think one of the things that I actually have most interested in, but it's because I'm dealing with comics, I tend to be very lenient on other issues that I see on the storytelling. So like when we talked about like the 180 rule, placement, honestly, even how dynamic the poses or the action is, I know that different styles might actually be a bit crippled on those sides, and I can be a lot more forgiving. For me, what I find that is more important on the action scenes when I'm looking at them or looking for good action scenes is interactivity, be it with the environment or between the characters or both.
What do you mean? But like, I can understand with the environment, with like props and the setting.
Yeah, because like kind of like how also like Vinny was talking about when he was saying that, like, you have to have like the before action, like the action and the aftermath of it. In a micro sense, I kind of feel like you have to look into that for the actions actually taking place in there. Something has to change in the environment or have to have interacted with it during each of these things, not just as a action beat, because that's what actually makes the action interesting. Because I know that this guy can shoot lasers, I know that this guy can punch. They will punch a lot through this comic series. So how will this punch be different from others? Because there was a table here. So I don't know, like or like an Invincible, where like it really mattered because there was a civilian that got in the middle of that punch, and you make it dramatic. Now prop is in a different position. Now the environment changes. That kind of stuff. It forces the audience to pay attention during what sometimes in comics tends to be something that you kind of doze off.
For sure.
Because the action can't just be punch, 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 punch. If you make them pay attention to cause and effect during the fight,
you keep them attentive, and you make things that matter and change the story as it goes on.
For sure.
That's
a
a
great
super
point.
good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say that too.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, especially that he brought up like Invincible, something like that is a perfect
Oh,
example.
Invincible is such good action
Oh
scenes.
my god, yeah. So like, all right, so let's say a fight between Omni-Man and his son there. Like you said, if someone's in the middle of them, you'll see like Omni-Man put his fist through that person. There'll be blood everywhere. But on top of it, the hit is so hard, his son will be like inside of a building, and now he knocked him into a subway. And now you're even in a different location. So it's stuff like that you're right, exactly. Environment, whatever you're doing in that scene, it's a cause and effect, and it's gonna. I think it's better too if you could take people on that kind of a journey, even through a fight sequence like that. That's cool. That's important. And like you said, people won't get bored. They'll be very interested in what the hell's going on. Like, holy crap, did he just do what I think he did? You go back and they'll study the panel, and then the other details you could put in there. Like you said, if other people are in the way, a table, a car, whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, it is really cool.
I want to piggyback off of what you guys were talking about, because like when you're my answer to the question, what's the most important thing? I mean, I said clarity, which I think clarity is the most important thing. I think that otherwise I would have said.
You gotta backtrack now, Ariel.
Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack. I think that storytelling, I know that's kind of a very broad term, but I think of like in terms of thinking about the purpose of the fight scene, like why is it here, and the specific importance of every single moment. Because I think that as artists, I feel like it's really easy to fall into the kind of just like mechanical response of just like, okay, well, he's punching a guy, he's angry, and he's taking a punch, this is the worst moment of his life, but then it's like you don't have your highs and lows planned out throughout the fight scene. So you need to think about like, what is the importance of every moment throughout this fight scene? Where are the highs and lows? What are the stakes in every single moment? Like I think about like an issue I had to do for Shadow Roads, issue 5. I don't expect anyone to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's like basically the entire issue was a fight scene. But when I received the script, there was almost no direction in terms of what the fight was actually supposed to look like. It was just like dialogue, kind of directing where the fight was going a little bit, but I had like no sets.
I think it's a big part of how we talk about clarity is that you're used to having a lot of direction on these kinds of things. And other people are kind of used to, like, especially on action scenes, to just kind of leave it for the artist to almost make all of those decisions when there's no necessarily like storytelling points in between. I feel like you struggle sometimes with having too much freedom.
I guess so, but that was
really, having a lot of instruction.
I feel like the example coming up is like a big, I guess, triumph for me, because like I had to fill in all of the blanks. I could have just drawn an entire issue of people just like basically shooting each other back and forth and stuff. But it's like, this is a low point. They're about to have like a showdown with their guns and stuff. And it's like an all is lost moment. We're supposed to get here, but we didn't make it. I could have just drawn them stranded in the woods, but I'm like, no, I'm going to draw a wall. They actually ran into a wall here, and that's why they can't make it any further. That's why, and so it's like you add in environment, you add in setting, you add in emotion, the characters, all to help build the story. So I'm like, I guess I'm just kind of like in a long way just trying saying like,
just like you had an answer, but then you heard everybody else's answer and just grabbed all of them, just make it your own.
No, what's she saying? Okay, well,
just everybody's homework.
That's a good point. I think I was also going to mention that what AC seemed to be saying was it was a struggle because there was sometimes freedom for the artist is really good, but a fight scene should tie into the character development. And that's what I've heard over and over again. And this isn't just a comics thing, but for movies. And you can have a movie that's just like, the summer blockbuster action scene. It's meaningless. It looks cool, but a really good action scene, something that's memorable. Like there is not only is there character development, as in there's a beginning, middle, and end. It's like a mini story. There's a conflict. There's a problem. There's a conflict. And there's a resolution. But also each character's personality, like how they fight, should be coming through in the action, in the way it's planned out. So I think it does kind of like, I mean, I'd write my own stuff, and so I haven't worked with a writer in a long time, but it does kind of like irk me when a writer doesn't say specifically what the character development, what the character's goals are in this action scene. As at least I want to know that. But it is but there is also a lot that the artist can add to an action scene, like what AC was saying with adding a wall there when it wasn't in the script, because sometimes those things you don't visualize until the artist is actually like doing the layouts on the final page, and it's you know, it's harder for someone who isn't the visual storyteller to plan those things out. But like having the character development be clear and having the character show through is something really important. And you know, I have kind of came across scripts where the writer doesn't do that, and that kind of, I mean, it's like I can fill it in, but I feel like I try to write action scenes with that in mind. Like it's always the character is solving a problem, or they always have discovered something, or they figure something out by the end of the action scene. There's always I try to put like a plot point in it. And if it's just a cool action scene that doesn't actually affect the story that I can cut out, then why am I drawing it, is what I'm thinking. Because then I'm just wasting time.
To what you're saying, both AC and Rini, I mean, it's like that's what they call the Marvel way, right? I mean, it's like, yeah, and the thought process is so it puts a lot of the onus on the artist, you know. And to me, it's like, I think the Marvel way worked when the artist and the writer were really co-writing the story, so to speak. Because to me, when you just leave all that in the place of the artist, you're asking kind of, to me, in my thought, you're kind of asking the artist to do some of your job as the writer. Because
that's essentially what the Marvel way is.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, I like to fully describe it. So that way, if the artist looks at it and says, I see where you're trying to go, I can do something better, you know, because otherwise the artist doesn't know what you're trying to achieve. You know, other than just people getting punched in the eye.
I want to know what the point of the scene is.
The artist might know what you're trying to achieve, but it's still a matter of just of extra work to visualize it.
James, sorry, you're really quiet. We're having trouble hearing you. If you can lean. Really? Yeah, I didn't even realize you were talking, and I realized like I was cutting you off and stuff.
I was about to say that.
Let me fiddle with that.
Yeah, maybe you can turn your mic volume up. Yeah, he suddenly became really quiet, so I want you to be able to talk.
All right. Yeah, I'll deal with my technical difficulties and come back in a sec.
Yeah, while he's fixing that, but I'll go back to for a second what AC was saying, and she is right, because like on Through the Woods, there's a pivotal fight scene at the end of the book between the good guy and the bad guy essentially, but the way that my brother and we came up with the story, since he was writing it and I was doing the artwork, but we came up with the whole concept together. The way that we had that sequence, it had to start in a specific place inside this cabin, and then it went outside. It went for, again, like there's a good amount of distance that happens, and then we need the villain to get close to the cabin again, because there's something that happened there where there were a bunch of other axes that were thrown into the side of this cabin. Because what ends up happening is we had the female lead of the book, she gets in harm's way because of that. So it's a lot what AC was saying, like, what's the reason why you're doing that fight sequence, or why you're doing the paneling the way it is? You need to tell that story, how to get from point A to B to C, and then, but in between there have things that are very memorable and very clear. I have big panels in what I did and how I did this, and and it's the big payoff too, because you want to see the villain get his ass kicked for all the horrible things that he was doing throughout the book, and that's the thing. There's very satisfying moments, and that's what you want too, in that kind of a storytelling and sequence. Then I have the City of Venus that I did, where I was the writer on that. So the way that I have, like, again, there's a big action sequence that happens in like the beginning of the book, but it's essentially to get the main characters out of harm's way. So and kind of the other elements that are in there, that could put them in jeopardy, and how they get out of it, and you want that flow. If the flow's not there, it's not going to work. If certain pieces aren't there, it's going to confuse the storytelling, the fight sequence, the action sequence, whatever you're doing. So I agree too. Yeah, it's a pretty damn good blend of clarity, storytelling aspects, and being dynamic. Because again, a visual thing. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry. I thought he was trying to talk again.
I was testing my mic. Does it sound better now?
Oh,
Yeah,
it does sound better. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
And, on that note, John, you just got a backer. So
Thank you.
Woo! Hopefully it's
Thank you
because of
very
the
much.
show. Thank you. If somebody that's actually watching
Hey,
the
take
show.
credit
Yes.
for it, girl.
Yeah,
Take
oh
credit.
yes, it's all because of
That's right.
John, fill me in on your story here, man. It looks pretty sick.
So this is the first volume, but it's actually the second story arc. So the first story arc was called Legacy of Fury, and this was the first graphic novel that we put out, and it was a complete story arc. So it's 100. This one's 172 pager, and it basically, this one tells the story of how Jin Fong becomes the Black Tiger, and then Hidden Dragon, which is the first half of the Hidden Dragon story arc. So it's 88 pages.
Yeah.
It tells the story of her as she is, her father, who was the prior Black Tiger, he was killed and disgraced as a Black Tiger, and also he was a cop, and he was posthumously disgraced as a cop. So there was a pointed attack against him. So basically, for the kung fu elements of the story, restoring honor to the family name, for the element of her being an assistant DA. So she was a very straight as an arrow, just black and white assistant DA until she gets, and she didn't believe in vigilantism until she attains this power. And in order to solve the murder mystery of her father, and also figure out who's coming after her now, she has to don the mantle of the Black Tiger.
And
so she's a little bit forced into it, but from her feeling though is, I don't know if I really believe in the cause of the Black Tiger. So she's trying to mark her own way. She also wasn't trained as the Black Tiger because it's a power that's been passed down through the generations, but it had been passed down through males. Okay. So she gets the power. She's not trained. She can do a lot of stuff that she doesn't know about. So she's trying to figure out what kind of Black Tiger she is. She's trying to figure out, she wants to honor her family, but she also wants to honor herself. She doesn't want to, she doesn't want to, start doing something she doesn't believe in. So this is really kind of her road now to what kind of a hero
Gotcha.
She's going to be.
It's like a self-discovery story.
Exactly.
That has a lot of ass kicking.
A lot.
Lots of ass.
And she kicks a lot of ass, as she should.
I can see that.
As pictured here, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Norn Rad.
I'm really wondering on that one, hi, Irene.
Yes, I have. I want views. Good job, whoever drew this.
Hey, John.
Norn Rad, I think, asked it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, brother.
Sorry, what are you saying?
When you were recapping your story, you mentioned power and also vigilantism. So does when you say that the character has this role as the Black Tiger, is it a title, or is it something that because since it's all about martial arts, is it something like, I don't know, like some weird feng shui powers connected with that?
So it's a mantle. So it is a power. So she already grew up and was trained by her dad in martial arts, who was also trained in martial arts. So the question becomes, is it a martial arts power, or is it a power just being used by martial artists just the way that they know?
Gotcha.
So that's part of what she's discovering, is what can she really do?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is that Volume 3, she could be a DA and use her Black Tiger mantle at the DA's office.
She can use it definitely in a much broader way than has been used by wielders of the power in the past. And that's what she's figuring out. But,
I was going to ask what the dragon was about. Is that spoilery?
So it is a little spoilery, but it's awesome. I'm not going to... So
it looks awesome.
So the dragon is... kind of, it's the yin yang. So, I mean, there is another power out there. And the dragon power is being wielded by someone else who probably has some ties to what's been going on in the Black Tiger's family.
Oh, okay. All
Okay,
right.
so it's a symbolic dragon. That is someone else out there.
It is a symbolic dragon, but it's a
Okay.
real. But it's
Hmm.
you will see there's manifestations that are much more than symbolic, that are very
Well,
real.
yeah, that shot in the mall, that looked pretty real. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is an awesome shot, by the way.
It is.
Yeah,
I like
this
the
is really
idea
realistic.
of the intergenerational conflict.
Well, you know
Like-
what? That's what unlocks for her if the power could be more. Because there was a power, so, her 2 generations ago, her mom and dad, they came from China, and he basically had run away from a monastery. So he took the power that had been just, for years been handed down through this monastery. Now it starts to get handed down through his family.
Okay.
And everyone seems to connect. So this is what they know. They know Kung Fu and they know Black Tiger. So for them, it's one and the same. But her, she's an American girl.
Okay.
She doesn't even speak Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
She grew up in the
I'll
valley.
teach her.
You teach her. She grew up in the valley. So she's trying to reconnect with her roots, but she's also trying to be who she is.
That's a cool conflict, man. So like between legacy and being your own person.
Yeah, and you want to be able to honor your legacy. You want to be able to honor where you come from, and you also want to be, you want to be who you are. So that's kind of the struggle that she's having, throughout this story, and it's part of why I think it was a fun jumping on point, for the story, because it's kind of a great transition point, to get on as a reader.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man.
Very great pick.
Norrin Rad asked a question earlier about
Yes. I have it here. I've been waiting to pull it up, and
Okay,
it's a great
cool.
question. Here we go.
I just wanted to speak on this really quickly, and you guys should speak on it. We'll definitely speak on it too, because I actually do that.
Let me read it for people who are just listening.
Okay.
Norrin Rad said, I'm in the middle of writing and have a quick question. Does intercutting between multiple action sequences in comics work the same as it would in movies, or is it better played out in full?
I think you have to have a reason to do it.
Yeah.
So in the first issue of Legacy of Fury, I do that with the fight sequence, but there's a reason. It's the father is in a situation and his son is in a situation, but it's a situation where the father ends up transferring the power to the son. So there's a reason why you're cutting back and forth between the 2 scenes. But I think if you're just cutting back and forth just because it seems like it would be cool, I think that's confusing.
Yeah.
If you don't have a reason to do it, it can be confusing.
Yeah.
If you can do it thematically, like let's say, you're like comparing or contrasting, like the way 2 people are handling the same situation, that could be a great way to explore your characters. But if you're just doing it to out John Wick, then I'd say that it'd make it confusing.
Yeah, I think there's more potential for confusion in comics than in film with that intercutting. Sorry, go ahead, AC.
To be fair, I think that they take the same approach in film and TV as well. I mean, when it's done well, you've seen bad action.
Oh yeah, we've all seen that.
But if they do it well, then they'll also do it with purpose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
There needs to be a reason, not just to be fancy.
For sure.
But it could be but again, I feel like we obviously aspire to have these scenes where the more that we add, the better. But
Add how?
Well, how you guys are talking about, like having a narrative, thematic, or whatever reason to do this particular choice. But I feel like we all also enjoy just dumb fun, both movies and comics. And I feel like there are cases where you can pull off just doing scenes like this and not really have like a straight up like narrative reason to do so. You can actually just have it just be reason to different places. If you're concise enough or effective on being able to actually communicate when you are in one place or the other, be it through color palette or clear locations, like it can be pulled off without being too complicated or contradictory to being able to actually follow up the story.
I want to
sure.
say something We haven't really talked about the artistic aspect of it. We've mostly been talking about the writing aspect of it. I think writing-wise, you do need to have a purpose. Even if it's like a dumb, fun kind of comic, it can be the loosest thing. Like this is the dad fighting in one fight scene, and this is the son fighting in one fight scene, and we get to see the contrast between each other.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really need that much, but there needs to be something there to make it to merit you actually flipping between scenes. But
sure.
in terms of like, the artistic approach of how to do that, I think that that kind of a thing is best done when you have a colorist on your team. If you don't have a colorist on your team, I would maybe give that a second thought, just because colors help so much in terms of distinguishing different scenes. Otherwise, you're putting a lot of on your artist to try and distinguish these two scenes. And if you don't completely trust your artist to be able to pull that off as clearly as possible, then that could run you into some clarity problems, which you want to avoid.
Yeah, I was going to mention the way, if you can pull it off in the art is very important, because I was thinking, okay, do you mean interconnect between multiple action scenes as in literally one panel to the next is each in a different location? Because if you want to do that, first of all, you need someone who's really good at visual storytelling, and you probably most likely need to do it in color, because it would be very confusing otherwise. I've seen manga does this a lot, and someone actually just brought up Bleach.
Yeah.
But when manga does it, it's in like kind of page to page. It's not always like, you know, each panel. I mean, sometimes manga that's badly written does it like panel to panel, but because it's in black and white, it's really hard to read if it's just, you know, panel to panel literally. So you can use like, if the settings are really different, like one setting it's in like a stark white room and another setting is underground and it's like most things are blacked out and you can't see anything, then that would work in black and white. But you have to be very careful when doing that, is what I'm saying. So make sure that the reader can immediately tell which scene, like which scene is, you know, they're looking at all times. I would say is a tip I would follow.
And good idea going page to page, Norin.
Page to page is much easier.
Yeah.
For this book, what my artist did was so the panels with the red trim are one set, and then the panels without the trim are another. But it's challenging when you're doing it within pages. It's challenging when you're doing it within pages.
Oh, tell me about it too.
You know, so I mean, so the red trim versus without. So that's because that's the way I had already written it, and we already committed to doing it.
Right.
If I did it again, I probably would do maybe page to page. I don't think I would, unless I had a really good reason, I don't know if I would do it again this way, in all honesty.
Yeah, and yeah, that is a fair point, because with the colors, you could achieve a lot. I experimented with something really crazy in Through the Woods. John probably remembers this. I went from a flashback sequence that we went sepia, and I decided to slowly start adding color throughout the other pages.
Yes.
Until I got to that pivotal scene, because I wanted the viewer to be so invested in it, like the main character, like they're just really brought there. And by the end of it, it was a very dramatic scene, and it was in full color by the time we got there. Now that's something like you wouldn't be able to do in the mainstream, because they would fight you tooth and nail with stuff like that. But I was able to experiment with it. Even my brother was like, I don't know, that sounds weird. I'm like, trust me. And I just, I had it clear in my head how I wanted to do it, and it came off perfectly. And everyone who saw it, they were like, holy shit, that was really cool.
It was a cool effect.
Yeah, and they haven't really seen anything like that before. But it's those elements of, if you could pull it off the right way. And everyone's part is kind of crucial when it comes to that. If not just relying on the penciler, but yes, the colorist is a huge part of doing that kind of thing.
I feel like it all comes back to the original question, which was like, what is the most important thing for a fight scene? And ultimately, I think like you guys all made some really good points, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's just three things. One, are you able to tell a story through the action? Are your characters developing through the fight? Is the action easy to follow? And does it resonate with you? Are you emotionally invested? Because like you could see the end of, if you watch the end of Rocky, his fight against Apollo Creed is incredible. Just you can't help but be moved. And then at the same time, if you're watching, I mean, I love the John Wick franchise, but like in John Wick 3, there's just one fight every 5 minutes, and there really isn't much emotional resonance. And by the end, I was just burnt out. And you just, regardless of how many people, like action sequences you have running simultaneously, if it's cohesive and connects to the story, I think you can make it work.
Wacky Swaggy said, yeah, personally, I would say color is not a necessity. Tons of manga make it work. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a necessity. It would be one if you're trying to do panel to panel. It would help a lot. And you have to be very careful if you're not using color, is what I'm saying. But on the note of colorist, Oliver says, get a good colorist. Oliver's a colorist. Hire him.
Hell yeah.
Continue, AC.
We love Oliver.
Yes.
Oh gosh, what was I going to say? James, you were mentioning, what was it? Emotional investment. Yeah. Like, I think, like, not every fight scene has to be, like, the biggest, most emotional fight scene ever. Like, as Nick said, it can just be dumb fun. I think that there does need to be a purpose for everything, so that there is at least, like a minimum of, like, emotional investment in there. But, you know, it doesn't have to, just to clarify, I don't think it has to be, like, you know, big moment every single time.
Definitely not.
What the story needs.
You just have to care. Like, there has to be a reason. Not everything has to be the final fight against Sephiroth or something. I will say, like, and I wanted to ask you guys, I'm being a bit of a hypocrite right now, because one of my favorite fights in comics is in Moon Knight. Moon Knight 5 by Warren Ellis and Declan Shalvey it's just Moon Knight walking into a building and beating the ever-loving shit out of, like, 20 people with very minimal plot. And it's so gripping. And I just want to know, what are your favorite fight scenes in comics, guys?
I haven't seen that one, but Declan is awesome. So I believe you.
It's worth checking out. It's so cool.
Yeah. Shit. Mine might have to be John Romita Jr. On Daredevil.
Right on.
Yeah. Again, and he's somebody, like, you know, his style changed so much over the years. I think he was better when he was younger. But yeah, there's certain sequences and stuff like that that really work. Another person I think is really amazing is Stuart Emerman.
Oh yeah.
His work is fantastic because he could do a lot of complicated scenes, but it's very clear.
Super clean. Yeah.
It's clean. His storytelling is fantastic. He's got a lot going on, but it's clean and it's clear. Greg Capullo is another one that I've liked a lot. The way that he does his storytelling is
his Batman run.
Oh yeah, dude. And it's not just because I knew him and his wife. You know, we're kind of friendly, but even before all that, I used to study his work a lot because he had everything you needed. Like, he's one of those solid artists that he knows his anatomy, he knows his storytelling, he knows his perspective, all that stuff. Kind of like, you know, it builds up a perfect kind of arsenal for an artist. And then then whatever style that you wanna kind of do and play around with, you know, it all depends. Because we've even seen, like, Joe Med, he's changed his style over the years, and he kept getting cleaner and better. But again, you sacrifice the speed for, you know, the kind of style that you wanna, you know, the storytelling that you wanna do. So yeah, it all kind of varies, I think. But yeah, sorry, I forgot what we. Your
favorite fight scene.
Favorite comic fights.
Yeah,
that's a good question. I never thought about that.
No, I got it. My favorite was there was Marvel. There was 2 stories in there that I loved. It was like volume 1 of, like, their greatest stories or something. It was a big red book. Frazetta has it. I mean, not Frazetta. I'm sorry. Frega. I was talking with him, and he goes, "You mean this book?" He literally, like, had it next to him, and he popped it out.
Wow.
There's a story in there that had John Buscema. He drew the Hulk fighting Wendigo.
Oh, that's
I'm sorry, not Wendigo. Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. Yeah.
Yes.
From Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
That whole book was amazing, what he did in there. And then there was John Romita Jr. He had the fight with Juggernaut in street clothes versus Colossus. They were just like, I can't even
imagine that. Like, I can't imagine the Juggernaut trying to, like, put on a button-down shirt. Like, does any place, does any store make jeans in his size?
Yeah, you got to
It was a solid black shirt and like, you know, brown pants. But like, and it's funny too, because like the way that the storytelling was great. You had Wolverine and Nightcrawler. They brought Colossus there. Like, he was being like a brat, or the way that he broke up with Kitty Pryde or whatever. And they wanted to kind of teach this kid a lesson as well. And it's like, Wolverine knew that Juggernaut was there, and he was just like chilling at a bar with a chick. And the fight happened because of something that Colossus did, or like it was almost instigated by Colossus because of Wolverine, right? So, and then like,
what a bad friend.
He wanted to kind of like, you know, have him get slapped around a bit. And, you know, Juggernaut wasn't in any of he didn't have all of his armor shit on, you know, his special magic fucking costume. But they beat the crap out of each other. And like, literally, you had Juggernaut, he picked up the bar, he ripped it, and he just threw it and like a baseball bat, swung you know, Colossus out of the place and into the street. You know, it's stuff like that. Like, these, again, you said memorable fight sequences, things that, you know, and it was for a reason. It was just kind of like, you know, at the end of it, they didn't even show that Juggernaut was a bad guy. He literally had a wad of cash and he threw it at the bartender, or the guy who owned the place. It's like, here, this is for your troubles. Like, because he didn't want to fight. He was there to chill, you know?
Yeah. It was all about like getting Colossus out of his breakup funk by getting his ass beat by the comic equivalent of Brock Lesnar.
Pretty much.
Character development, see? Character.
Also, like, I'm digging the responses in the chat. Guts fighting Zod.
Yes.
Freaking sick.
That was amazing.
Yeah, which time? Good question.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Guts versus Zod. I really, you know, that made me think the most memorable Guts and Zod was not Guts versus Zod. They started out fighting each other, but then it was the time they teamed up against the electric. His original form was a big electric god. Yeah. And that was really memorable. And I think I was also going to mention another thing that I think I'm still pushing myself to do, and this is also something that kind of I learned from doing martial arts. I didn't do that much, but just a little bit. But like what they teach you is you don't want to do what people expect. So you don't want to telegraph yourself. So you don't want to, you know, you want to, like, that's why southpaws are so effective, because nobody knows how, people aren't really trained to deal with that. They don't do what people expect. And that's what I think my favorite comic artists, or my favorite action comic artists, do, is they're always very intelligent with how they choreograph things, even if there's like minimal characterization and it's just a fun romp, like you know, like, and this probably extends to movies, like why Jackie Chan's so popular. You don't know what he's gonna do next. He grabs a chair, he grabs a stapler, he uses like a boba tea bottle to beat somebody. Like you have no idea, and it keeps you on your toes. And it's fun, but it also shows like the character's resourceful, and that's entertainment. Yeah. You
know who I feel like is a master of that in comics? Do you know Andrew Mclean? His Headlopper comic has like it has early on it has minimal characterization. It's just a guy carrying a witch head because it's an evil witch and he wants to keep the head out of trouble. And his paneling and his layouts, while this big dude with a big sword kills people, even though you barely know the guy, you just can't help but glue your eyeballs to the page.
Huh? No, I don't know that. There's so many comics.
I love this stuff. I remember when we went to Heroes, that was one of the first pages that we actually started. You know, when we make the rounds, that was one of the first tables that we knew that we had to buy some of those comics. This stuff is so cool.
Yeah, Heroes fun. Back when conventions were a thing.
Back in the days of yore, when we can go to conventions. Yeah. Hello, Wise guys. Thanks for joining. Norin says Reka had a ton of good fight scenes on Bloodstrike. There you go. Yes. And
I like the old Frank Miller Daredevil. He really choreographed those fights.
Yeah.
One book that was a little bit more indie, it was called Infinite Kung Fu by a dude named Kagan McLeod. Man, that was one of my favorite comic book series of all times. And it was basically, imagine Kung Fu with a Wild Wild West flair with zombies. And, you know, I mean, it was just the fighting was choreographed. And you can tell I love that. It was like a dance, you know, so the fighting was well choreographed, but it was impactful. and it was fun. So Kagan McLeod's Infinite Kung Fu is probably my favorite.
That's awesome. I'd say Enrico Marini is another fantastic artist if you guys want to study that kind of stuff too.
Okay.
Fight sequences and all that kind of stuff. I mean, he has more of, that's like a slight manga style. It's very, very clean. He did Batman the Dark, Prince Charming. Those are the most current.
Oh man, so good.
His earlier work is fantastic as well. Raptors, which was a vampire story, that was killer with his brother and sister. Gypsy, a lot of those stuff. They were in Heavy Metal magazine as well. Like they had a lot of the books that they put him in there. But he's one of those artists that I've always liked. I think almost more than regular mainstream comic book artists. But yeah, the European guys, they have a really good sense of all that, because it's not just like you said. It's not a Marvel way of doing it. You know, it's more cinematic. It's more of that approach again of anime or manga. There's so many different influences. That's why I like that kind of market a lot too. And it feels more indie than, you know, again, quote unquote, the Image and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more creator owned.
Yeah.
Yeah. More or less.
I think most of us lean more creator owned, but you know, it's not the only factor. But you mentioning European comics, I was gonna bring up a fight scene in Vinland Saga, which I will.
Oh,
but
love
first
Vinland
of
Saga.
all, hell yeah! Okay, we're gonna be good friends.
I want to get into that. I queued up the anime.
Do it.
But hold on, I was going to mention another scene because you're talking about European comics. Blacksad, the scene where Blacksad fought the lizard guy in the house where he got ambushed and he came home and that guy lizard guy, the assassin that was sent to fight him and he like barely got out, he like just shot him right at the last minute, and the ending page was just like this down shot that was just, it was like twisted. It was like a down shot, but it was askew, and it was like this very really vertigo-inducing shot. His room was just in a complete mess, and Blacksad was just like, you killed the guy, and you're just like lying down next to the corpse and like smoking a cigarette. I love that. Get it.
A friend of mine, I was flipping through some of his, and I've been meaning to order. I keep forgetting. So yes, that's one I definitely got to get. Yeah, the stuff that I saw in there was fantastic.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, Blacksad is so good.
Oh yeah,
the art reminds me of like a Disney movie, but like noir.
He was a Disney artist. Juanita was a Disney art. Yeah, he was a Disney France art or something. So there you go.
That's awesome.
You're thinking of getting Blacksad. Do you know which of the books is that you're getting?
Say that again.
Oh, Vinny, you mentioned that you were thinking about getting Blacksad. Do you know which of the books is that you're thinking of actually starting out with or checking out?
Yeah, they have a collected edition, I believe.
Yeah, get them all.
My friend, yeah, he had told me. I think was it?
I haven't heard about it.
Company was it? I forgot the company, but they said they just released it. I think just a couple of months ago. They had like a collected edition. Like he sent it to me too. I'm like, oh, perfect, because I wanted to get in, but I didn't know where they were with the series or how long it was. That is killer.
I hope, is this a high-res version? Let me open this.
Wow. Yeah, my buddy told me about this, but I never got with it. I need to. Wow.
For sure.
Yeah, Blacksad is absolutely. I just need to open this and show everybody. If you haven't seen Blacksad before, I mean, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is a shot. But the fight scene before, like the whole choreographing. In general, the comic has such good motion and just really good stories too.
Hell yeah.
And
that kind of stuff.
More than the ending, what I really like about that fight scene is actually the beginning, because it's very tense, very slow. When you get those zoom ins of the snake assassin just kind of getting ready behind the door. That's really cool.
Find the beginning. Yeah, I'm trying to find. I can't find the whole fight scene, but I mean, just besides from that. Oh yeah, I don't have the book with me. I left my copy in Taiwan because I wasn't expecting COVID to trap me in America. All my books are in Taiwan. But look at that. So yeah, if you haven't come across Blacksad before, it's like a detective noir story, but with anthro characters, and it's not. Yeah, and like it's I don't know. It's done really well. The way I've never seen someone use anthro characters as well as Juanita does. That is beautiful. Fantastic. It's all watercolor. Like oh my god, this is like original art. He actually watercolors all this. European artists just blow my mind.
Yeah. Well, that's Enrico Marini. He does the same thing, and his style is very similar like that. But he does humans. He's actually working on a noir story right now.
Oh.
Well, he put it on hold to do Batman, and now he started working on it. Which I can't wait to see. I have 2 of his original sketches too.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, he did it on the inside cover of the Dark Prince Charming. He did it with white pencil.
This is actually that one you just showed was the page that got me to check it out. I saw
the turtle one.
That's the end of the arc, I believe too, and it's just so good.
Yes, it's so expressive.
Oh yeah.
Like he uses the fact that these are like half animal characters. It just makes everything so dang expressive.
Yeah, like he uses the animal race to accentuate whatever like the person's personality is. So good.
And Eric McIntyre says, "I'm going to thumbs down." No, don't thumbs down. Thumbs up this video and subscribe if you haven't yet.
No, he was just being ornery because wise guys told him to smash the thumbs up, and he said, "Don't tell me what to do."
Smash the like button.
You can't tell Eric what to do.
Smash it. Oh well, I won't tell you what to do. It's a polite suggestion. Please.
There you go. Please.
Please. I want more subscribers.
Black Sad was awesome.
Wait, Carlos, you were going to show something from Black Sad?
No, I forgot the one that I have at home is Red Soul, so it doesn't have the scene with the snake assassins, which is from the first book.
Oh, gotcha. Bummer. I can't find mine. It's like buried under a pile.
Mine's in Taiwan. Whenever I can go and bring all the stuff I left there back.
That's the best excuse so far.
I was literally trapped here because of COVID. I was gonna go and move my stuff here over several trips, but then that didn't happen. But anyways, I was just buying a new copy. I want to just hold it in my hands again.
Yes. We were talking about Black Sad. Did you guys see that there was actually I think it was like not a point and click. What do you call that? It's the kind of video games that Telltale was doing. What do you call those? It's
like
visual novels.
Yeah,
like choose your own adventure or something.
Yeah.
It was one of those, but they actually made it for the first book of Black Sad.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll look that up right now.
Point and click games or visual novels? I don't know.
It's not visual novel because it's actually 3D. You know, it's based around.
It's like a choose your own adventure kind of deal.
Following the story, and just picking your path on decision process.
Yeah, so it's choose your own adventure.
Okay, I did not know that. Yeah.
I like this Google image search a lot.
Yes.
Vinland looks dope.
It's amazing.
Is dope. And it's unbelievable. The fight scene I was going to bring up, almost all the fights are so amazing. But like just the beginning fight is amazing. He's just like running up a wall and he had somebody. And I mean, it's so hard to talk about this without spoiling things too. But what I find super impressive is these aren't superpower people. They're just like normal people. You can tell it's a little ridiculous.
Slightly. Anime regular people. Anime regular.
Yeah, anime regular people. But they make it so cool. And it's like, well, yeah, I could believe that, like, this guy is like 8 feet tall. So yeah, he could just like crush 3 people's necks into dust in, a second. Yeah, sure.
I think my favorite is the farm one with Snake.
Oh, that was really good. I was gonna mention the other
also that
earlier.
Yes, the one you have so right in the center of the screen right now, that punch. Yes.
This is what I was going to mention.
I opened the book up and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Nice.
Got me to read.
I mean, you're like, that dude is taking a nap. He's not getting up anytime soon.
Well, I'm gonna be doing some shopping tonight.
Yes, buy this book.
Also, Eric in the chat, Chainsaw Man is amazing. I've like talked to Carlos about it a million times. I'm like a Jehovah's Witness at his door about it. It's so
I have
good.
been told I have to read it too. Yeah, I've heard it's amazing.
That was not the first thing that you brought up, James.
I'm in recovery. I'm trying to hold back.
I'm taking notes.
So many things to read. Look, the character designs are so good too. It's
Yeah,
like very non-typical manga as well. I'm trying to find another good. Oh, look at that! It's like every fight scene is just so damn brutal.
Yeah, and it's cool because the whole manga is a meditation on violence, and you can.
Yes.
He I think it's what's his name? Is it Makoto Yukimura?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he doesn't shy away from like every single facet of it, and it keeps every fight and like every threat of violence so refreshing and interesting.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's historical, but this is like the most interesting historical comic I've ever read. And
Seriously.
I read a few because it makes it, there's a philosophical underpinning to the story, and it's very focused on the philosophy of it because it is a meditation on violence, and it's kind of goes anti-violence a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to spoil things, but then it comes to the conclusion of well, is that also the right way to go, right path to take? And it's very, very interesting. And the fight scenes they're really brutal. It's just you feel the impact of it's not just because there's a lot of blood and it looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool, but there's a reason for it existing, and like that's what I was talking about. That's the kind of action in
For
comics
sure.
that I like.
It's so cool. Like when you have Thorfinn, like the characters, they all feel like all the way they fight fits their personality. Where like Thorfinn is a small guy, so he uses daggers, whereas Thorkel is a giant beast who picks up whole fucking trees and swings them.
Who punches horses? Who punches horses?
The question is,
just real life people.
It's amazing. Please go buy Vinland Saga.
Does he knock the horse out when he punches it?
I think he kills it.
He straight up. The fate of the horse is undetermined, but he eats it. He eats it off the page.
Hold on, Thorkel punch horse.
I love how this conversation about Vinland Saga started. No, but it's like realistic. You totally believe that they do.
No. I didn't say it's realistic. I said it's ridiculous realistic.
And then
I mean,
Carlos, you've never uppercutted a horse?
I think only Conan did it, but it was to a camel.
You never just walked home from a bar, horse was talking shit, and you had to teach it a lesson?
I see some horse-faced people.
That horse deserved it.
That horse should come back at the end of the manga for revenge.
I know. If it's not, the soul, because it's definitely dead. See, this is the first sequence, and then it was the other one, and then this, and...
How many volumes are they up to?
I think the 12th one is coming out in September. I'm waiting.
Look at this fucker. This is a great character.
It's 12 deluxe volumes. They release it only in deluxe volumes in the States, if I'm not mistaken. And the story's almost over. It's in the final arc.
Oh.
I haven't caught up in a while. But I want to read it all the way because I read up until they were heading to Mclean, and then I was like, okay, because I just read a giant chunk all at once. I'm gonna wait for a few more volumes and just follow it through.
That's a lot less painful than what I'm doing.
Yeah, I learned my lesson after suffering through multiple series. I'm just like,
I hear you.
I'm gonna stop before the final arc and not suffer.
Well, that's it. If it's good enough, you're gonna want to keep going back no matter what.
Yes.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking amazing. This is one of the best manga. Berserk and Vinland Saga are my favorite mangas ever.
For me, it's Vinland and Mob Psycho and Vagabond. Those are my top three.
Vagabond's awesome. I mean, I have other thoughts about it, but it is very pretty.
Oh, what are your other thoughts?
It's serious. Like, we're gonna fight now. No,
That's
I don't.
fine.
It's no. I mean, if you hate what I say, I don't care. But it's. I think the pacing is just too slow for me, and it's just very much. It's very subjective. I understand, but I think the general storyline is very interesting. But I just don't want to wait that long between panels. It's just so decompressed. I can't deal with it. Like, when there is action, it's great, but it even feels like the action itself is decompressed. And it's just,
I love it.
It's just too much.
The action.
Yeah, it's too much. I like stuff like Vinland Saga. I want it to be like bam, 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 faster.
You want it now?
I want to know. I want to know what's happening next because I ain't got that much time. This is a whole volume of just like him staring at the sky, like, should I fight or should I not? But
that is not an exaggeration, but I'm here for it. It's like therapy for me. I'm like 20 pages of mosquitoes landing on a tree branch. I'm like, all right.
But yeah, I can understand why people enjoyed that because I mean, this is also a little hypocritical because I love Mushishi, and Mushishi like also
so good,
useful, but it's like not an action thing.
It's just 20 minutes of a guy walking through the woods and occasionally smoking.
Yeah, but I love
you got a ghost problem? Here, have some tea.
Yeah, essentially. But I feel like more shit happens in Mushishi than in Vagabond. But so it's not just about
it's like Mushishi's episodic, so it kind of.
Yeah,
the pacing.
Yeah, it feels like more gets done because Mushishi's like one episode. Every chapter is one story. But,
yeah, it's a monster of the week.
It's what?
It's a monster of the week.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is. It's
a very
really
chill and abstract monster.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if you guys haven't seen Mushishi, you should check it out as well. LM says Blade of the Immortal and Elite are top tier. Yes. Blade of the Immortal. Yeah. Did someone call me?
No, yeah, because you've actually brought Mushishi both when you were with the, private chats with the friends, and also here a number of times.
I should pull it up.
Have you ever checked out the series Mononoke, which is also a monster of the week kind of a thing with Japanese folklore as well?
No.
I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it.
It's called Mononoke. It's also a similar premise to Mushishi, where it's just like an expert on supernatural beings and kami and all the lot of that, and it's very visually trippy. Whereas this one is very meditative and slow. Mononoke is actually orients more towards horror and trippy visuals. I think you might enjoy it.
I've seen the art.
It looks gorgeous.
I've seen the art, but I haven't actually watched it. But by the way, Mushishi is beautiful. The manga is really good, but I think the animation, the anime follows the manga very, very closely, and it also adds an extra depth to it because the backgrounds are like, look at the painted backgrounds.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's very beautiful, deep, like lush forest. It's like what the Attack on Titan anime did for the manga. It adds extra depth with the fact that it's full color visuals. So if you guys haven't seen Mushishi yet, check it out. Either the anime or the manga. It's basically it's like set in ancient-ish Japan, and it's a guy going around. Helping people with their ghost problems. But the ghosts are like little kami spirits, and they're not evil or good. They're just existing in like this different plane, and very few people can see them, but they cause problems for people. And this guy, the main character, Ginkgo, is kind of like a Mushi doctor. These little ghosts are called Mushi, and he goes around helping people solve their problems. So there you go.
Cool.
Check it out. It's very interesting. And it's very, very atypical too. I will check out Mononoke. I've been told that several times.
Your favorite fight scene?
No, I haven't.
Carlos.
I've been struggling to think about a favorite fight scene because honestly, I feel like when I read or watch fight scenes, I get so absorbed in it, and then I forget what exactly I was looking at. So I need to be better about studying them. But I was thinking about this. I've mentioned on Irene's show in the past that I really like James Herron's fight scenes because of his his squash and stretch, his use of motion lines and stuff. You really feel the weight of every impact in his fight scenes, and I really like those. Otherwise, I think about honestly, if we're talking about favorite, I don't know. I feel like I remember back when I was a kid reading Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball. And how there's just some simple, really fun fight scenes, but they were so crystal clear as to what was happening and how he added humor in it and to how he spun things around and stuff like that. It really made me realize why he was so prolific as a mangaka. Those are just adorable and fun fight scenes. So I have really fond memories of doing those.
Clarity of storytelling.
And it's super, he's super charming. Just like Goku versus like all the characters have so many fun designs. Like I think it was General Pao or General Tao with his giant mustache, and he's just like this crotchety old man fighting Goku's like 2 feet tall.
It was fun.
It literally has like written "kill you" on the back of his.
It's like his artwork is so it can be so minimalistic at times, and but it's so effective too.
Especially in Dragon Ball, you actually start noticing how, despite his very good staging, he actually cuts away environments completely, more often than you would actually think.
Are you sure that's not just to save time or because all his assistants quit or something? Because happens a lot. That happens a lot in manga.
I'm not saying that that's a good or a bad thing from it. It's just that because of good staging from the characters, you don't notice it as much. I'm not saying that it's actually a problem. It might actually look better if he kept those backgrounds. What I'm saying is that he's able to maintain that and almost not draw backgrounds through a lot of the fight scenes thanks to that. And I think he also kind of jumps over a lot of the interaction that I talked about because of that comedy aspect, where that interaction doesn't end up needing to be with props, but it's always between the characters jumping around each other, and the size differences allows them to have a lot more freedom. When they
well put.
Totally right. Having little kid Goku just makes every fight so much more zany and fun.
Conclusion of the discussion: put a little kid in all your fight scenes, and
John Wick 4. Hit John Wick.
Mini John Wick.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Just deep fake Keanu Reeves' face onto like a 5-year-old.
Oh my god.
Baby John Wick.
Baby John Wick. Dear Lord. Wacky Swacky says if you want gorgeous art, Koko no Hito, the climber, is absolutely top tier. I'll check it out. I don't know that one. Koko no Hito. Which one is that? And let's see. Chimera, you're canceled. Clarity, flow, and cause and effect are what I consider most important in an action scene. Yeah, true.
Yes,
for sure.
Classic Dragon Ball was, in my opinion, one of the best stories ever written that didn't continue or get nearly enough credit. DBZ is okay, but it's a far cry from the original. Yeah, I'm not that big of a Dragon Ball fan. It kind of was before my time, but yeah, it's very impressive.
So completely agree with Tokume. It's true. I think we had a lot of conversations about that when we were in college with friends, because everybody always talked about Dragon Ball Z, but over here we didn't get Dragon Ball Z before Dragon Ball, like in the US. So we got used to the original series before the action one, and I also have a lot more positive memories, especially about the manga, starting out with Dragon Ball. Yeah, that was great.
That was back in the day when anime, like the cartoon technology, was a lot harder to pull off as well. So it's a lot more still frames and stuff. You don't really get the impact as much as like manga, I think.
Well, they're just being cheap. You just look at Akira.
Oh my god, that was insane.
We're just bringing up all the awesome things.
Didn't they have like 7 studios working on Akira? It was like a behemoth of the industry.
It was insane. What's really interesting is it's like half the time I find my favorite mangaka or anime artist or manga artist, and it's like, oh, they all worked on Akira. Like everybody. So it's crazy. Like a lot of talent was in that movie.
I saw that in the movie theater.
Oh,
so jealous.
No, I'm just old. No, my buddy took me to see it. I didn't even know anything about it. It's one of those life-changing events. Like we left the movie and like didn't talk for 10 minutes. It's just like, holy smokes, that was amazing. What the hell just happened?
I know.
That was amazing. What the hell just happened?
Especially the ending, right?
Yeah, because like like the whole tenor of the movie changes halfway through.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh, snap.
It's like, what is even happening? We're in a black hole.
Yeah.
Seeing the body horror was nightmare fuel for Tetsuo.
Oh man,
that was my favorite part.
Oh gosh, and you
I
know
think
what?
that-
Like for me, the channel that we have in Latin America kind of equatable to how Toonami kind of brought a lot of anime for young people in the US. We had the Locomotion. One of the ads that would show up in between shows had the clip of that guy getting gunned down over in the rides of Akira.
What?
So it's like when I was just
For
like,
kids.
I was like, yeah, I'm watching like Slayers. I was like, oh yeah, they're just they blew up the city, but everybody's fine. They're just covered in ash. And then like transition to ash, just like we'll be back to Slayers. So watch Akira.
I mean, she did kill everybody in Slayers, but okay.
They got smoked.
Chimera being the resident weeb mentioned Samurai Deeper Kyo, which has anyone here heard of Samurai Deeper Kyo?
Yo, I read the manga growing up. I was like the weeb at summer camp.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing though. I was at summer camp and I was the only weeb wearing a Samurai Deeper Kyo shirt, and everyone was like, we're all playing volleyball and football, and they're like, yeah, I don't want that kid on my team. He's into that weeb shit, which they didn't use the word weeb, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
No. I didn't even have that term back then.
The manga, so like I don't remember what the fuck the plot was.
It's like a split personality.
Yeah, he was like possessed by some demon. It was like a really nice guy, but he had a demon in him, so he had like red eyes and shit. And there's a really annoying blonde girl around. But I just remember the action scenes were really good. Stories in it kind of reminds me of, I was really into stuff like Samurai Deeper Kyo and like everything by Oguraito for a while, like Tenho Tenge and Air Gear, where it was like, well, I was like 16 and I liked stuff that had no plot but had a lot of action and was pretty. Yeah, I was such a huge Oguraito fan.
I
It's
had
like
never.
disgusting.
No. On the contrary, it's just I remember when we were in college. I remember those conversations where everybody would just sit down and talk about the manga that they like, but for like a second, but then go on huge rants and shit on all the things that they didn't like. And I think that one of the first things that would always come up would be like Air Gear or Tengo Tenge. So you
gotta appreciate it for what it is.
I remember reading. I never read Tengo Tenge. I had the one issue of it, but I read a lot of Air Gear when I was younger, and I thought the art was super sick. But I never
heard
of it. Admitted to liking it.
What is it, like Magic Rollerblades?
Yeah, it's like super powered rollerblade. Yeah, and also butts.
It's never addressed that they're magic. It's just it starts out with just like, oh man, I wish I could rollerblade like the cool rollerbladers, and then it escalates into DBC shit, and people are getting killed.
Yeah, it's like let's rollerblade competition to the death.
The rollerblade scene is serious.
So extra.
There's like a lot of, it's very gory, but it's also absurdly stupid sometimes. Like Obama shows up in there, and there's also
what?
A rollerblading.
What do you mean?
There is a rollerblading bear and a rollerblading whale.
Oh my god!
Show up in that.
Okay,
wait. How does the whale have rollerblades?
It's because the
where do they go on the whale?
The rollerblade, the definition of a rollerblade gets skewed as the series goes on.
Oh,
Sounds like it.
Do you need a wheel? Probably not.
It's
I don't
a weird
understand.
that it has, and it's
God.
like space rollerblading
okay.
or something.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I remember reading one volume of this, like the first volume, and it was just like super rollerblades, and that was just it. I'm like, wow, that's like
At first it was. Then it just got power creep.
The power creep.
Yeah.
The rollerblading power creep.
Yes.
It feeds off of teenage energy. It's extreme horniness and extreme sports with an X.
Extreme sports.
Yeah.
Look out for that whale then.
Could you tell me more about Obama's scene in Air Gear? Because what the fuck?
Dude, it is even weirder. I think this is the fact that he shows up is the most normal thing. He turns into a little anime girl in that.
What?
It is.
I didn't get to that art.
Does he rollerblade? Is he like, me and Michelle are gonna rollerblade to Mars? Like,
That's one part. If you see that the bottom side, you see that girl that is with Obama. That's Obama.
Oh my God, is that Putin?
That's Obama in the
what
little girl.
if I stay in this body, it'll grow a mushroom? What?
Wait, that's
from
not
Baki.
weird. What is
That
this?
one's from Baki. That's another manga.
Yeah, this is a different artist.
Yeah. No, it's
Oh,
a
I'm
little,
gonna search. I need to search. What the little Japanese? This
No,
one?
you got it. Yeah, there we go. That one. That's it. That's him. That's
What
Obama
the
in air gear.
What the shit?
It's.
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. They're all on
Yeah.
Japanese crack when they do these comics.
Whale. Air gear
Yep.
manga whale.
You're right.
Where?
Is that
There
the?
was
Is that
a-
the?
Was it
Where
a
is it?
shark or was it a whale? Because I vaguely remember a rollerblading shark.
There's like no.
That's a killer whale.
There we go. Those is that the one? Well, I remember
It's too
the shark
blurry.
thing. I think was like the shark was just a guy's powers that are. He has like a stand power that is like a shark when he. rollerblades.
Oh,
The whale was
Wait,
literally a whale.
this is derailed so much. I can't. Can't I find a freaking rollerblading whale? I want to see it.
I'm sorry, but when Carlos mentions Obama rollerblading, this is gonna
As a little
derail.
girl.
If you want to know
As a
what
little
makes
girl.
real fight scene,
Well, honestly, air gear is a really good example of what I was actually just harping about earlier. It's just I feel like sometimes good fight scenes can just be complete spectacle and have no reason to go. And you can just be flexing. If there's a manga that is just a spectacle, you can just make fight scenes that are just flexing, and they can come out good, especially when you have this level of technical prowess.
Oh yeah, like
I need
it's
the
basically
emotional
what-
heart.
that's
Obama.
not what I want to do for Obama. Like that's not what I want to create. But like I have to say, I'm impressed that Oguraito has carried an entire career just on marketing pure teenageness, like cool shit that makes no sense and hormones is everything that he does. So that's basically what Tango Tenge was, and that's what this is because it looks really good. Like if not just for the art,
Rollerblading
check
whale.
out.
That's like Fonzie jumping the shark. That's it. Like that's
it.
That's like if Fonzie could transform into a rollerblading shark.
Why is it so small? The art is really freaking good. Like, look at this. I really like this art.
It is.
That's
Yeah, I think
insane.
I really tried to draw like him for a while. It's
That is amazing art. Though.
look at the motion and like the balance of the detail. I'm really mad I can't find a whale, but okay. But,
It's out there.
I have.
I think that the little dark skinned girl at the beginning is is like the first result. I think she shows up at the same time with the whale. I forget what her deal is.
That's Obama too.
I don't think that's Obama.
They're all
I ain't touching
Obama.
that one.
Nope.
As long as it's not Hillary.
Oh, is
Okay, that whale is nightmare fuel. If I don't know what's happening here.
that's not a whale.
That's
Is this
that's a xenomorph.
That's a weird
That's what it looks like.
that rollerblader.
This is wild. Yo, this is why manga sells so much.
Yeah.
There's a crazy
Abso-freaking-lutely.
shit, crazy shit like this. Oh, great. It's in Spanish. Somebody translate.
Capítulo, los colmillos de la orca penetran en el pecho del... Oh, yeah, there you go.
This is his.
Chapter something. I don't know what that's.
chapter 1.
Oh, that's a 1? Okay. The fangs of the orca penetrate the chest of the hero.
Oh boy.
Entonces puedes darme una expresión más deliciosa. So can you give me a more delicious expression? Yeah. That's what
I
it
don't like
says.
that. That looks like the alien queen head.
Right?
Mm.
Yep.
Those
I don't know.
Really
weird,
good
very
designs.
interesting.
And yeah,
Jason, this manga now.
I don't think you have the patience for the amount of boobs and panty shots on that.
Oh, you're right. I don't.
yeah. I have been straying away from why. I'm shocked that there weren't more boobs and panty shots in that movie.
Yeah, me too.
There is a lot of that.
You're
That's
shocked.
what he said. It's just that it's
I don't trust it
completely
anymore
wrong.
because if they're
It's
turning dudes into ladies, I'm not trying to see all that.
No,
No,
it's just-
You don't want to see boobs and panty shots? Oh,
Not
that's
if it's a dude that gets turned into a lady.
What if? So we don't know the context. What if Obama was this girl originally? You know, could have a
yeah.
whole
That would
backstory.
make a lot
You
of
don't
sense.
know.
She's a magical girl.
AC,
Yeah.
you're talking about James Harren before. Have you heard of Ultra Mega? His
Oh
book?
yeah, we brought that up. We keep on bringing that up on the show. Yes, James, please save this. Please save the show. Underail us.
I just think it has really sick action scenes, and I also love James Harren, and it's definitely something to check out if you're a big fan. Like each issue is between 40 and 60 pages, and it's just him smashing like kaiju with Power Rangers and like Ultraman. It's so insane. Like the opening issue has an entire city drowned in blood because of a kaiju fight.
Yeah, we brought up Ultra Mega before, and
so metal.
That's another thing I keep on being told to read, and I don't have time. I have to finish Fiendish. Would you guys like me to finish Fiendish? That might be a good idea. People are paying me to do that, but I do want to. Yes, but I do want to read this. Yeah, this looks fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm shocked this isn't more well known because it does look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it kind of blew up like when it first came out a few months back.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I don't see that many people talking about it. I will read it.
I mean, to be fair, it's also Sentai, so maybe that's one of the reasons why we don't hear about it so much. It's a bit more niche.
Yeah. It also switches genres a lot.
Oh, that's probably not a good thing. I mean, it could be interesting, but not all readers are like ready for that.
Yeah.
I would be.
It always goes back to Kaiju's bonking Ultraman people.
You could have just said Kaiju's bonking and I would have been down.
Yeah.
Oh, my show. What am I
Rini.
That could be your next book on Indiegogo.
Yes.
Kaiju's bonking.
What are you talking about? I already have Kaiju's bonking, and come back, Fiendish, everybody. That's what this comic is about.
That series from Oni Press that actually was about Super Sentai and Kaijus as like islands being super jails for Kaijus, and you kind of follow them in as though you were like in a prison break, as they're like trading drugs and fighting each other in these giant cells. Did anybody remember the name of that comic?
No, but drug dealing kaiju is all I need to know.
Yeah,
that's all we needed.
Prison break
kaiju. That's danger right there.
Prison break kaiju.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. It was really weird and different, and it had a really cutesy kitty style, despite how it touches on all of these weird jail stuff, and characters keep like ripping each other's heads off and stuff like that.
I don't know talking about this one.
Well,
I'm just gonna Google prison kaiju comic.
We should do another show on kaiju.
Look it up on Oni Press, James.
Okay.
It'll pop up.
Oh, Kaiju Max.
That one. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting comic.
Very, very interesting. Let's see. Wacky Swacky has another great question. Thoughts on speed lines? Why don't Western artists use them as much as manga artists?
They should. They're great.
Well, you guys start out.
Well, they're like you can go with like different approaches to action comics. Like I know that like in Western comics, there's like I think about like those big group shots where you have Ant-Man in the background being gigantic, and you have all your X-Men or whatever in the foreground. You want to have like this huge group shot showing everybody doing their own thing, and that doesn't lend itself as well to speed lines sometimes because you want like a snapshot of what's happening in the moment. When you don't use speed lines, it's like a moment frozen in time, and I think that those work well for that. But I think also manga is probably more like moment to moment, kind of small moments put together, and those I suppose lend themselves more to speed lines. Talking out my ass a little bit though.
It's all about it's all about opinions.
I'm just thinking about it.
How dare you have an opinion? I am not sure.
It's
I'm
more
not here.
Well, the prior image.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's really help convey action and speed, obviously, and they help your punches land a lot harder and stuff like that. Using squash and stretch, speed lines really help with the stretch. So I'm always happy to see them when they show up.
Yeah, in our when we're talking about our work, AC is, I can concur. She is a connoisseur of speed lines.
I'm
and
not.
I try to do that. Well,
I
well,
just
you're
tell
always
you
telling me to
speed
do more.
lines.
You're always telling me that you need to like push those speed lines, and you're right. I think they're really good, and
Sure.
it
I'm a
needs to.
proponent of speed lines.
Okay, all right, there you go. All right,
Speed
but
lines are like your cowbell. You need more. More cowbell.
I don't know.
People
why
are sitting
Western
down
artists
having a
use
conversation. Speed lines,
Speed
go.
lines.
They can't get that coffee to their face fast enough.
I'm
Oh
not
my
sure
God.
why Western artists don't use as many. No idea, but they should. You're right. That's the only conclusion I can come to.
I think a lot of it was that remember, guys, like for a long time. I mean, I think that there's a lot more influence from manga and anime that has been coming over, being accepted. There was a lot of house style for the longest time. So, oh God, what did I miss?
Thank you.
Lines of crack, yeah.
Well, no,
whatever you got to do to make those deadlines.
Exactly. How do you think I'm always up until 5 a.m. every day?
Oh shit!
Whoops.
What were you saying, Riley?
No, yeah, I think house style influenced a lot of that. Because you talk to a lot of artists, a lot of them, even before it was more accepted into more mainstream comics, people have influences like Akira or other manga. But there is, there's a whole push for house style. You have to draw like what the companies that you're working with wanted you to draw. And also, because of the errors in how Marvel and DC handled the big anime boom, in that they just tried to mimic it and without understanding it, and they just you guys remember the manga verse from Marvel, which this
Oh yeah,
I didn't want to, but thank you for reminding me.
yeah.
Because of that, I feel like even people that really like that had a negative impression of people that started trying to gain influence on their style from manga and anime. And so it ended up kind of tagging those that influence themselves too overtly as cheap copycats or people that would not fit in the industry. So a lot of people veered away from that for the longest time. But you see it more and more. Comics are taking a lot more speed lines because it's become a lot more mainstream for the general comic audience to also indulge in anime and manga.
You're too manga for us. Years and years and years and fucking years.
I'm thinking about it more. I think that like the Western styles are more focused on like when you have an action scene. I think that the desire not to have speed lines also comes with like wanting to like show, like I said, like a moment in time, like a snapshot where you see like the hero in all his or her glory and like showing like every bit of their body and stuff like that. I feel like it's kind of like glorifying that moment. Yeah. Whereas in manga, it's more about the scene as a whole and getting the action flowing from one moment to the next.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah,
because I think you're using you're being selective in how you think about that. Because you think about it a lot of like something that is not very common in manga, which is the double page spread. Like yes, you will have that. You will have like the teams and like people just showing up, or like how everybody's kind of being handled around the city. But panel to panel, action is not. In North American comics, you also see a bunch of close-ups. You see just individual characters. You see people actually like getting rid or simplifying backgrounds for these kinds of things that they need impact. So it's not necessarily that. It's just I think that you're just remembering a lot of those shots because those don't show up as often in manga.
Maybe, but I wasn't referring to just the double page spreads in Western comics.
I know that there's a lot of pinups and stuff like that, or moments where people do show off. Because it's the brand, show the brand, show all the things that we bought.
That's a big thing of it, though. I feel like when I read action scenes in Western comics, I feel like I see that very often, where it is showing the brand, showing her figure and stuff like that as she's punching this guy. You want something that's memorable, this memorable moment. But I feel like that's very common.
But those are the large.
Not necessarily. It can be also smaller ones in between, but it's still with that same mindset. I don't
But
know.
a lot of times too, I've seen in Western comics anyway, that they do more like blur techniques with Photoshop instead of just the lines.
Recently,
you know?
recently there's more of that. I'm not sure why there's a difference. I think just speed lines are probably a shorthand that like a lot of manga shorthand that kind of caught on more to save time. But I don't know, it works out well. I like work that and it's hard. It's hard to do speed lines right. I'm gonna tell you, it takes a lot of practice because you have to keep the form. It has to read, but the speed lines have to all go in the right direction. This is Boichi. Somebody mentioned Boichi. Yeah, if you don't know this artist, you should really check them out. Amazing speed line work.
Speaking of someone, speaking of speed lines and Western comics, I think that Trad would probably have a lot to say about that.
Trad more.
He is addicted to speed lines. He has so much fun with doing his own spaghetti speed lines.
Yes.
Everyone's great.
I think spaghetti is the best way to put his.
Spaghetti.
And congrats to him, man. Getting his Luther Strode is going to be a movie now, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Gone through. Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right?
So if I start doing more speed lines, is that going to be considered spaghetti as well?
No.
Trads are specific.
Don't answer that.
Trad, like you get what we mean, dude. Like check out. It literally a lot of the panels. It literally feels like people are swimming in spaghetti. It's really fun. It's really pretty, but it's weird how Trad does it a lot of the time.
Let me tell you. So if you look at his artwork, all of his lines are very consistent with each other, and he makes very long lines that are all very, very consistent with each other. So his speed lines, he looks like he's a machine when he does it. And if you see him draw in person, he draws. This is how he holds his pencil. He holds it like this.
What?
Really?
Yeah. Yes, he's one of those guys.
Weirdo.
Wow.
And it's all in the elbow, and that's how he gets the consistency. Is because it's all in the elbow.
Okay, all right.
That's hilarious.
Some people are just crazy like that. Oh, it's very impressive.
I see people I see them holding it like that, but never caveman style.
Yeah, I mean, I get the elbow part because when you want to draw like a nice curve, you move you don't want to move your elbow, you move your entire you just twist like that, you lock your arm. But I've never seen someone hold a pen like this.
Did he always draw like that, or did it happen slowly over time? Oh, okay.
Well, I heard him in college. So.
He was always drawing like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking
I do
of,
love his style though, man. Like I haven't read everything by him, but Luther Strode was amazing, and his work on Silver Surfer was wild, and on Ghost Rider was really freaking cool. I wish we got to see more of him on Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I haven't read that much of his stuff, but the art is so good.
And I've never heard someone call it spaghetti before, but that is on point. I think you should own that. I think Carlos, you got to tell him to call it spaghetti lines, and just like who doesn't love spaghetti, just
just gotta wait for a panel where he actually draws spaghetti and see if it actually gets itself from the speed lines around it.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
But you know what? I actually made when we were hanging out in Heroes. That's actually a piece of art that I gave to Trad. I actually had because he had just finished doing the last issue of Luther Strode, where he fights the other big buff dude.
Yeah.
I drew them both fighting each other while also fighting on like a Lady in the Tramp scene with spaghetti in their mouths and just wrapping everywhere around them. I don't know if you're pulling it up. I have the Luther Strode here for the spaghetti lines.
Oh, I should. No, I'm currently enamored of Boichi and nobody's talking about it. But yeah, I wanted to show everybody these.
I never got into Dr. Stone or anything by this dude.
Oh, I didn't read Dr. Stone. I did read a chunk of Sunken Rock. And a basic story, but fun. It was really fun. Absolutely amazing art, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Boichi, really, really good artist. Another one of those artists that the prettiest eyelashes. Not an artist that kind of manga artist that doesn't really draw like manga, you know, and really good action. Like his work is also mostly just blood and guts and TNA, but I mean it works. It works. Look at that. It's one of my favorite pages. I'm gonna pull up some. Yeah, really great.
Look at I like the tension in the hands too.
Yeah. Like his control of anatomy is absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I mean, and
it's cool how everything stands out as different textures, like the lips compared to that guy's hand. I feel like sometimes it doesn't always translate, but damn.
Yep. Wow.
He's such a unique style. It's so fun and different.
Yeah.
Yeah. His fight scenes in the series are just insane. Like, super kinetic.
Yeah,
pretty bonkers.
Yeah, you just see especially if you just look through Luther's throat, because he got so much practice in there. He just gets better every book. By the end of it, you can see how it's evolved from that. It's really cool to see that.
Good layouts.
Oh yeah.
Circling back, good layouts. See, really easy to read. This is panel 2 is going right towards panel 3, and then panel 3 has this light shooting down towards panel 4.
Yeah.
Very good layouts. Also, there's a variation in I think. I don't know if that's something that I don't hear people talking about this a lot, but vary your head sizes and vary the distance of your shots. That's something that that's what I was taught when doing comics, and you don't want to. That's something that film doesn't have to do, but in comics you should vary your shot distance.
Unless you have a you have literally on the same page.
Unless you're doing a specific effect.
Yeah.
Normally you want to try to vary, the distance.
When you say vary,
it keeps it interesting, and you can see a lot more.
Yeah, it keeps interesting because you want to keep the reader oriented and keep them, they know where they are, but you also want to zoom in on the character expressions and what they're doing. So varying head sizes, that's the term I was taught.
What do you mean by that in general?
Like having, for example, unless you're going for a special effect, don't have a whole page of just it's all, a fight scene is just all from the same distance. Yeah, all close-ups, a whole page, entire fight scene is all close-ups,
okay.
Or a fight scene is all, bird's eye. The whole thing is just bird's eye.
I totally get it now.
Bigger and smaller heads on the same body.
No,
yeah, that was my first intuition.
The term I was taught was that, but it doesn't really describe whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, my professors.
Yes. Big head mode.
Just have your character heads just
bobbleheads.
Bobbleheads.
The sign of a true artist is to have bobbleheads and midheads.
Yes.
Speed lines. Yeah. That's amazing.
Irene, you mentioned earlier that you do martial arts.
Not seriously. I just kind of half-assedly did some taekwondo and kickboxing. So.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was never serious about it, but I like the sport, I was never competitive. I like the discipline, and it was because I hate boring exercises like running and just going to the gym. And I because with martial arts, it's part discipline. I felt like I was training myself mentally, but also it was I was actively, interacting with people all the time. So it was a good way to exercise. So that's why I like swimming and martial arts and no other sports.
Those were the two I did growing up for my school. Well, martial arts not for my school, but
why have we
awesome.
just met?
I don't know. It's cool though.
Why haven't you introduced us earlier? This is what.
Well, I just met AC tonight.
Oh, okay.
Face to face, that is.
Okay. So blame Nick. That's what we're saying.
But it is a lot of fun to do sports like that. And I was wondering, do you feel like you took what you learned from either of those and applied those to action scenes?
I think so.
I would say so for sure.
Yeah, and I'm always, I don't know, I feel like I could still push myself in my action scenes much further. But with everything that I am doing, with action scenes that I have done, it definitely does tie into the sports that I've practiced before. So it helps, and that's why I try to, if I'm going to draw a weapon, I try to actually hold it. Like I went to Iceland to do research for Fiendish, so I can actually like see the houses and walk in them and hold the weapons and like the authentic ones.
That's
and
a hell of a research trip.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm pretty serious about what I do. Yeah, and I'm not even doing a historical thing, but I just wanted. It's like it's based on that part of the world. It's a fancy version of it. So I wanted to get it. I want to get it right. I want to get the feel right. So I think what do they teach you in art? So you have to do cartooning or to do fantasy. You have to first have a understanding of reality, and I think that holds very true for what we're doing.
Yeah, that's why I keep trying to tell people that too. And that's why I did those master classes to teach people anatomy, to some of the basics of stuff, because I'm not seeing that anymore, and I'm seeing a lot of mistakes all over the place. But I put the information out there, so if people want to see it and study it, it's there. But yeah, I agree, and totally. If you're gonna do stuff like that, like fight sequences and things of that nature. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of like Bruce Lee. My brothers and I were growing up. That's all we like gave a shit about. And we got all of his books, all the Jeet Kune Do books, and we were teaching ourselves how to fight and how to train. But at the same time, as you're studying to be an artist as well, you're breaking down that stuff. And for me, anyway, it was applying that knowledge to the artwork as well, which was great.
Right. But, you have to understand it before you break it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can really tell when someone like yourself has taken the time to study anatomy and to study martial art, like body movement during fights, because you'll see some comics where it just doesn't feel like there's any weight in an impact, or the body is moving counterintuitively to how you would if you're doing a certain strike or grapple.
For sure.
Yep.
Oh, and Eric, yes. The master classes, they are on my YouTube channel.
Yes, Vinny does art tutorials. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're on a playlist. Yeah, it's as soon as you get to the page, it's like the first thing that'll pop up. Because everybody kept calling me the ass master, so that was my first lesson. The female form, the hips, the ass.
I saw that one. That was a very good tutorial.
Thank you.
I mean, apparently people have trouble with boobs. I don't really get it, but apparently that's a thing.
There's a lot of drawings of boobs where they just don't obey gravity.
Yeah,
that too.
Kind of like how a lot of people learn to draw muscles through DBZ. Like,
oh my God!
A lot of people learn to draw boobs from like Marvel comics, where they're just like held up in there with.
They're just like rocks. They're just
anti-gravity boobs.
Not even anti-gravity. That's Gynax. Like with a lot of superhero books, they're just like. Don't move. It's like, how is this possible? Is it a metal plate? Or I don't understand. Metal implants or something.
They're bulletproof. They're not moving.
Speaking of, these boobs don't look like that.
Yeah,
let's refresh.
They're not bulletproof.
It's like you got them right. It's
John. We have her weakness now.
No, her skin is bulletproof. Well, probably not. Let's see.
Oh, hey guys! Also, since we were talking about,
nice.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That's awesome.
Excellent.
That's amazing.
Hell yeah!
Congrats,
Thank
brother.
you. You guys are all
Sweet.
amazing.
Thank you.
oh, nice.
That is awesome.
Backers.
On you. Close to that $10,000 stretch goal.
Hell yeah.
Oh, is that your next stretch goal?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
So we have the metal bookmarks. Everyone that has a physical tier will get one for free.
Ooh, metal. Hold on.
Sick. That's a sweet bookmark.
Yeah, man. Phoenix Animation makes these. I'm gonna let it glimmer, let it shine in your eyes.
My eyes.
I can't see. It's so
Sunglasses,
shiny.
hurry!
The glory. I can't
Smithers,
take
get my sunglasses.
it. That's great.
Yeah.
That's such a cool idea. I was thinking of doing metal trading cards, but
No, it's only just on the one side.
I was hoping that it would at least have like the comic info on it, so that you can, whenever you pull it out of your book, you can always recommend the comic for people.
Good idea.
Good thinking. Good thinking, Nick, our resident marketing person. That can happen.
That can happen.
Are those going to all backers?
At 10,000, it'll go to everyone that has any kind of physical tier.
Ooh, awesome. Okay,
Cool.
very, very awesome. Are you going into in demand?
Yes, so we'll go into in demand. The lettering is we're just finalizing the lettering, and then do another round of editing, and then once that's done, we'll go to print, and whatever numbers we have is what we have. We'll do a little bit of overage, and now some shows are starting to open up, and trying to find some other ways to get the books out and marketed as well.
Mhm.
So we'll have some overage. But that'll pretty much be it. So kind of like with Magna, then we'll shut the campaign down.
Okay. Cool. Let's get in while you can.
Yeah. One of the things when we were talking about martial arts, I mean, I practice kung fu, but like I had like one of my buddies, he practiced capoeira. So one of the things we tried to do is we tried to implement different forms of martial arts. Because one of the things when you're watching a kung fu movie, you watch kung fu versus karate. Or the big British boxer would come in.
It's always the big British guy.
It's always the big British dude. You know what I mean? That would come in. I mean, I still fall for that. Like in the Ip Man, I still loved it when Ip Man battled Mike Tyson.
That was actually surprisingly good.
I loved it. I mean, so it's like having those different elements, so you see different forms of martial arts, and just like Vinny was talking about, I mean, it's like having practice, but also using, some of the kind of tutorial materials that they show for like the styles, and using like some other, so and using. So, like in this scene, or the one below it, she actually battles a master of capoeira, and you can kind of see.
I was gonna say that kick, the spinning kick on that first panel you showed on the first page, totally reminded me of capoeira.
And this is his. You see his style, kind of how he's doing the lean back. People are like, oh, it kind of looks like breakdancing. That's because breakdancing was greatly influenced by capoeira.
He's doing that hand motion.
And in Brazil, when folks were enslaved and they didn't want their masters to know they were learning to fight, so their masters thought they were just dancing. So so capoeira, that's why it's beautiful. It's amazingly powerful, but it's like when dudes break dance, that was the whole thing. It's like you're gonna battle because capoeira was a dance, but it was a fight. So. That was kind of so we try to implement some of those kind of cool elements, have some kung fu versus capoeira.
That's a freaking cool fact.
Yeah, it's and just try to integrate some of these things into the story makes it fun.
Hell yeah.
That's a good thing, man. Dude, I'm good friends with Grandmaster Bram Frank. He's been on my streams a couple times now. He also makes these awesome knives. The guy's a member of Mensa. I mean, like a genius, amazing person all around. But like he grew up. This is funny. Like how I met him was through like the convention scene. He was doing security, and he grew up actually like as a kid on the floor watching Jack Kirby draw, Frank Frazetta, all these big amazing people. Like you got to listen to this guy's story. It is absolutely amazing. He's such an interesting person on top of all of it because he wanted to be an artist, but he got into an accident. And his course of his life changed, but he ended up getting into martial arts instead. And like he learned kung fu. He worked with Danny DeSanto, one of Bruce Lee's best friends. He ended up the Filipino martial art that he kind of does. Like he incorporated all this stuff. And like I want to use some of his techniques and stuff in other books that I'm going to be working on. Which it's going to be amazing to see stuff, and kind of play around with those kind of aspects. But much like John's doing with this, it's cool to incorporate, again, things that people might not know. But once you can see it on the page like this, it's like jaw dropping, it's something new. It's something interesting.
When before my family and I moved out to Houston for a few years, we were practicing Fu Jiao Pai, which is the Black Tiger system. It's the Tiger Claw system. So, we actually interviewed one of the grandmasters. He's actually out of New York. And, you got a great history of the system, as well as some kind of reference materials about, kind of the different moves. and you realize that there's a rich history, and you hear actually the story of how the system was also almost lost during kind of the Cultural Revolution, and then like they brought the system here to the States, and then from the States they actually returned the system to China, you know, because the system, the materials were all destroyed, was all lost. Right. And you realize there's just an amazing history around some of these things that we get to enjoy. So I got to interview him and get to incorporate some of those fun elements, you know, kind of into the story.
That's nice.
But like you said, I mean, it's you know, sometimes fact is stranger and more interesting than fiction.
No, you've done your research. That's for sure. Yeah, you know all the lore. Very, very impressive. Check out Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon, everyone.
John, what's going on here in this page?
So this is like almost like a prophetic kind of dream. So if you read the story, you'll realize the goats represent something. Of course, there's a black tiger and there's a red dragon. So basically, she's getting a premonition of something to come. Okay. But the thing is, she has to interpret what it is she's seeing.
One of those prophetic dreams, those Fog of Ice and Fire style. What's going on?
The beauty of prophetic dreams is people never figure it out till afterwards.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You see, the greatest
what
of all
I've heard.
time.
You're like, oh, I thought it meant this. Darn it, it meant that.
If only I figured it out in time. Do black tigers actually exist? I don't think they're an actual thing, are they? That looks really cool.
They're supposed to be mythical. They're supposed to be mythical creatures, but there's you know, I've heard of oh, hey, there was a black tiger that was sighted, but like I don't know, man. It's kind of like Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen white tigers, but not completely black ones.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is kind of siblings right here.
Oh, they're siblings. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, the brother knew about the legacy in his family, but he's not fit to carry it. Ooh, so she figures out about it, and then he's she tries to reason with the guy, but ultimately this is what happens.
Okay, does the power pick the person that it will like bestow itself upon? Is that how it works? And it picked her instead of him? So
there's a couple of elements to it. There's kind of there's that Green Lantern-ish type aspect, but then there's also a willful ability to bestow the power. So the father kind of willfully bestowed it upon his son, even though she would have been a better pick for the power. So there is a conflict. So there's a conflict there. Okay. So then you kind of, part of the story is seeing how she learns about the power, and then how she actually, ends up, attaining the power.
Cool. Very fan. I love like there's so many levels of conflict in here because it's her family legacy, but there's also like, she's trying to find out where the power comes from, but then she also has this conflict with her brother that I just found out about. So very layered.
Well, thank you.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Sweet. And you have t-shirts.
Yep.
Is this available as an add-on? Okay.
Yeah. So you can either get them, you can get them as an add-on, or you can just get the shirts. And it's we just did it $40 flat, no shipping if you're domestic. Shay is the one that helped with the design of the shirts. It's one of the great things about the community. Not all of us are like you, Rini, that can do everything. I can do like one thing. I can do like one thing, and I need like others. Well, no, you're amazing. All the stuff you do, because like even when I was watching your trailer, I was like, if you told me you did the music, I wouldn't have even been surprised. I'm like, of course you did.
I don't. That's the one thing I definitely can't do. I can't save my life.
Of course you did.
No. Everything else though, except Carlos is coloring my comic for me because I would die if I had to do that.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
And at some point, it's just good to bring in other folks. It's not that you can't do it, but it's just for your own sanity and your own
Oh
ability.
yeah.
to get
What are
Tell
you
me
to-
about
talking
it.
about?
Tell me. No, hold on. Hold on.
Screw
If
you,
we're
I
gonna talk
do
about
everything.
who is the actual person who literally does everything. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced that Frankie exists at this point. Like I see him in the chat. Maybe it's just Vinny using another account
So
because it like
it's-
kind of looks like him too. I've never seen Frankie on camera,
You know
so
what it's
I'm just
like?
convinced it's just Vinny doing absolutely everything.
We need
There's
to
the
deep
group
dive into
Digital
my channel
Underground.
then. But he'll be back. He'll be back, I think, on Sunday.
There's
Okay,
this
cool.
group Digital Underground. The guy actually, Shock G, recently passed, but like he had another personality called Humpty Hump, but Shock G was Humpty Hump. So it's like I didn't realize that. Like at first, I thought they were two separate people. So it's like, is Frank? Is Frank just like your Humpty Hump? You just pretend to be Frank.
Look, my hands are up here, and he's typing.
You're typing
No.
with your toes.
John, hold on, John. I thought you've seen.
I've met Frank. I'm messing around. Frank knows.
Yeah.
I've been on panels with Frankie. I'm just messing with him.
That's right.
This is a pre-recorded segment. He's not actually on camera.
Oh shit.
We could do
He
this all day.
anticipated that question.
Yeah. Frankie says those shirts are fire. Yes, they are. I like that dragon one. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Frankie.
Let's see. Scosmo says I have to follow Frankie Knows on Twitter. Yeah, I apparently do. I saw some of his videos doing voiceover, like the voice, funny voices.
Yeah.
That was impersonations. Yeah.
He does a good job with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Matthew McConaughey was perfect.
oh yeah, his Matthew McConaughey and his Bill Clinton. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Not have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not.
Except the time we made Chelsea.
Yeah. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Amazing. Yeah. I don't do it justice. Please don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm doing.
Go watch.
Yeah, go watch it.
Frankie Knows.
All right. I look forward to meeting Frankie. All right. Very fantastic. Let's refresh one more time. See if we need to come up with a name for backers on my channel. Oh, not yet. Oh, well, come on. What are you guys waiting for?
Yo, I'll back you right now. You think I won't?
Back it right now. You
I mean,
want
let
to
me
be
see what we got
live
here.
so we can celebrate. Yeah.
I thought people were using the HELLION's thing over on the
Yeah, I
chat.
thought that was what your backers were called. Hellions.
The what? Hellion?
Hellions? Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Thought that's what you called your
Well,
backers.
you were just talking
Oh!
about
No, okay, I didn't hear what. Okay. Brr. No, I didn't come up with that. Someone else said that.
Yeah, but nobody
So
said
that's
that you
cool,
could
too.
come up with it.
Okay, fine. All right.
That's-
So anyway,
That's usually
so-
usually how it works.
Okay.
What if it happens
Stop.
naturally?
Okay,
You
we're-
dictating as queen and what people will call themselves.
He's
Yeah,
like,
that
I'm
was-
not controlling.
that would be weird. Also, no, I'm totally not. I mean, I am controlling, but I'm not that full of myself. So yeah.
John, I just signed up for it, man. Looking forward to reading it.
Oh man, thanks, James. I appreciate that, brother.
Right on, bro.
Are the
Looks
best.
sick.
I appreciate that.
Will it show up right away? Will it not? Yes!
It
The number
did.
has gone up. Well,
Yeah,
the
but
number
the
takes
number,
a while.
no, I can
The backer number went up.
The backer number went
Yeah.
up, but yeah, the money.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
definitely paid
Thank
for
you,
things. I promise. I didn't steal it.
Well, it would show up. Yeah, the backer number showed up. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And anybody in the chat, if you're still in doubt, go check it out. Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Volume 1.
Did you hear this? Did you hear this man's research on martial arts?
Very impressive.
Back
yes.
this.
Yes. Look at that. He
This
knows
is
what he's
Tiger
talking
Class
about.
is-
He will come to your house and capoeira your face.
Oh, man.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know what
I
this
just don't want to go to the wrong house. Go to the wrong house. I'll end up going over there and get my butt kicked. They'll be like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
his kung fu was weak.
That would be a problem.
I
I'm gonna
know.
go on tour and
I know.
challenge people.
I'm
would
like,
be
man, I went
fun.
over to Vinny's house. He beat me up and took my shoes, took my sneakers.
These things happen.
Knock on the wrong
My
door.
apologies.
It's Dustin
I
Poirier.
know.
Oh my gosh. All right. We've gotten a few backers. I think this is the
Yeah.
most backers that have signed on during one of my shows. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
very grateful for this. This has been I mean, I'm gonna pretend it's all, due to me.
That's all you.
It's not. It's because your book is so awesome. It's not because of me. But
It's the Reenie bump.
thank you for coming.
It is
on.
the Reenie bump.
The Reenie bump. Yay! Okay. Let's pretend that's a thing. If it's
It is a
trend.
thing. It just happened.
Well, all right. We've been 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is. I want to.
I thought it was only 1 hour and 20 minutes.
I know it felt like an hour and a half. We got really into things, but we covered a lot. Yeah. God damn.
I came up with a lot of books I still need to read.
I know
I was
every
actually
time.
taking
Tell me
notes.
about it.
Air Gears. Top
Air
of the
Gear.
list.
I was reminded of so many things too, like my teenage years.
I didn't write down Air Gears because the whale thing was bugging me. But I have Vinland Saga. I have Chainsaw Man. I have Berserk. It's a shame I haven't read Berserk. I know it's pathetic. And
It's fine.
and Black Sad.
Just repent for it by reading all of it in one go and then crying because it's Amira.
The top of John's list is that it's the volume with the whale. We know it. Don't pretend, John. He's like, it's volume 14.
I already ordered it while we were online. I was like, oh, I've got to have that.
What are you saying, Carlos?
Yeah, Nick, what are you saying?
I was just like, since we were talking about recommendations and fight scenes before we went on to others.
Putting you on a spot.
Oh, thank you. Actually, that's actually useful. I did want to shout out a bit of an more unknown artist. I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy's Nate Simpson. He was the one that made a Image Comics series called Non-Player. This one.
Non-player.
Yeah, I have that issue. I have the first issue. Did he do any more?
Yeah, he did.
Too bad your camera resolution's a little low.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, but talking about like
that paneling is really interesting.
Yeah, his paneling is really good. He has a very cinematic pacing and really good control of anatomy. Like, I just talking about like, hey, if you guys are picking stuff up, this is really good.
Yeah, awesome.
How many has he done so far?
I picked up the 2 issues that I was hanging out with him doing Heroes. I'm not sure if he got to do the 3rd one because there was some issues in real life that were kind of stopping him and kind of slowed down the process. So I don't know if he got to the 3rd. But just the first 2 issues are amazing and really. The first one has a lot of fight scenes, and the second one has a really fun 2-page fight scene with fighting used in the middle of a fish market, whaling fish and smacking each other with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I know after the first issue he got an option from Hollywood to make this a film or something.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Look at this. This art is really, really good.
I do like it. You don't hear him often. He's a great guy and he has great work.
How have I not seen this before? It looks European.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That's why I was gravitated towards it.
Is it a Tarrasque or
But
something?
I didn't know that he had
might
released
be wrong, but I think he actually comes from concept art.
I can see that.
Yeah. And Ari, you have it. Those are some of like the fantasy scenes. Let me just pull out like one of the more techie stuff pages.
Yeah, because
I have one of the like a motor scooter over here. It's wild.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of
that's a good one.
It's a little bit like that Spielberg movie.
I saw a robot, like a giant robot on one of them.
Oh, you're talking about Player One?
Yeah, it's got like Player One vibes.
Freaking Irene. Oh my gosh.
No, it's a kitty. Look, meow. I have a big kitty in my comic. I haven't introduced it yet, though. You guys are gonna love it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, this is fantastic. So many recommendations.
I know.
I had to read everything.
I read, especially like talking about like how your like your world map on your on the inside cover. Could you pull this one for a second?
Wait, let's see. Oh, okay.
Check this out.
Does he have a world map too? My competition.
This is
a city shot.
Oh yeah, your camera's like it's pixelated, but is that a city shot? I can see like a building in the foreground.
Yeah, that's a city shot on an inside cover of the digital world that they're in. there's a bunch of anime references in there too, together with so like if you look at them, like
cool.
Doro and like there's like Detective Conan and a bunch of other stuff in there.
Oh yeah, you won't be able to make it out on our camera, but you can probably parse it.
Yeah, your camera's super pixelated, but I get the gist of it. Yeah, I will check it out. It looks freaking amazing.
And Ryan Cardinal, he's right too. That Isola or
Totally.
Isola, that book is fantastic. If you haven't checked it out.
That was the first thing I thought of when I saw Non-Player. Isola is so cool.
Yeah, it's similar kind of colors and that type of vibe, but I know like Isola is a little bit more kind of like that, like an animated movie type of feel. This one has like a little bit extra detail, I think, in like the approach to his lines and everything.
This is amazing. This is
it's
I
killer.
love this. Holy
That
shit.
rider must be so hot wearing all that armor on a sunny day. Holy shit.
Well, but they're like
It's
inside of a
fantasy.
video game.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, fantasy doesn't have to make sense, apparently. As long as it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good shape language. I love this. Oh my gosh. Why are there so many good artists that are amazing that we haven't heard about?
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is really a great recommendation.
Absolutely.
Good
Very,
call.
very productive.
Yeah.
We found so many new things to read.
Is there? Do you know if there's a whole volume, Carlos?
No,
was that a whole? Okay.
At best, I'm pretty sure that Nate managed to do 3 issues.
Okay.
But I don't think it was ever collected.
Bummer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of covers.
As long as the word goes out there, I'd love to see him in more stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as long I'd buy it even if it's not like a finished thing. The art is really amazing.
Scotsman got turned on by the line work.
Yeah.
that is very sexy line. Ooh, another kitty. Oh, that's awesome. I have a giant cat in my story. It's
really?
AC and Nick had, well, you guys don't even remember. I have a giant cat.
I don't think you mentioned it to us, but
I don't mention it a lot, but there is one. I was gonna show up. It's gonna be awesome.
That one shows up a lot on that comic. It is her little digital pet.
Aww. It really does. It's like a alternate reality kind of almost video game. It does feel very manga, that premise, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it was when Nate was doing this, it was like right around the time where the whole wave of isekai was coming out, and I was just sitting down with him over at the Hero store, just talking. I'm like, man, this is what I was waiting for when these shows started coming up. Someone that does this going into digital world and real world, but actually cares about making a good story and actually having cool lore for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. Very good stuff.
Right, someone not doing isekai just because it's a easy premise and good cash grab.
We're just working
And the title's a lot better than most isekai. Like, my friend turned into a slime on Friday.
Oh God, you're right. Take my money now.
This is like 8 years old or something, right?
Maybe Human. Yes, I have met Barnaby, and I love Barnaby. Chris Stanley said, "Back John and Irene tonight. Looks great. Thank you so
Awesome.
much."
There you go. Hell yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Backers, thank you. You're the best. Okay. Those line waves are sexual. Yes, they are.
Yeah, don't
Good
touch
art
yourself,
is
Gavin.
sexy. See, non-player is awesome, but he's really taking his time. Sorry, someone already said this. Yeah, it seems like you said there's only 3 issues that you know of.
There's only 3 issues, and again, I don't know what Nate's life is like right now. I know he had some issues going into issues. But
I know that like the first.
And the thing is just that comics are not his main job, so that he does this on the side. It goes this detail.
That explains it.
Jeez. Oh,
damn.
Yeah, I know what that's like.
Yeah, because I think the first one might have come out. It might have came out like maybe 8 years ago or something like that. It's been a while.
It's been that long. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can only imagine. Like even through the blurry camera, I could see how detailed that cityscape was.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Writing and doing a full-time job as well is crazy. I can't imagine
Yeah.
that level of detail. That's insane.
Mhm.
that's
Very
crazy.
impressive. Well, I've got to throw some money at this person.
Yes, indeed.
Take that.
My money!
This is
No!
what you get.
I need to get a gift on my money. Take it! Fling coins at their faces. Cool. Like that. That meme. All right. We said we had another record.
Oh, nice.
Look
Oh
at
man,
that!
guys, thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
One away from
Damn.
150.
Bump, bump, bump.
That is
Nice,
amazing.
man.
Rocket
Thank you,
and
Come
guys.
on, 10K, 3 days left. You can do that. Everybody always gets a bump like the last 2 days, so you're gonna get there. You'll get there. Are you doing
Cool.
any other shows? What other shows are you doing?
I'm gonna do Bancroft tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that'll get you there. You're done. All right, we're finished now.
And I'm hoping I'll be on Red Valkyrie on Saturday, but there may be a conflict. So
Okay.
So I'm not too sure.
But
Okay.
if you want to come on Sunday on mine, you know you're always welcome, buddy.
Oh, cool. I'll do that.
You've been on a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I'll get you on again. I know
Sweet, man.
it's going to be after, but I mean,
That doesn't matter.
you're still going to have it open for a little bit.
Exactly. We're not going to close immediately. We still need to print.
Yeah.
Vinny, what's your stream about, Vinny?
Oh, my streams, we go kind of crazy. It's much like this one, but sometimes we go a little more off the wall.
A little
Okay,
bit.
I mean, we had Obama transform into a girl, so I can't imagine
Yeah.
what happens on
Let's
yours.
see. Last Sunday we talked about penis museums and
That was
joint
you.
dicks.
You brought that one up. You brought up
Maybe
the Wells
it's just
card.
because I'm there that things get derailed.
Well,
but-
the week before that, we started with. Well, we had ink spots on too, and that's going to make it go off the rails. But
Yeah.
he had talked about sitting on his balls, and we went into that conversation. But we take it into other places, and we slapped the mainstream in the face as well with the shit that they've been pulling.
Yeah.
We kind of do that from time to time, but we do showcase other fantastic creators. It's a little bit of everything. I've had some where we haven't done it recently, but I've done like drawing ones as well. Like we usually have like drawing streams. I might get back into those, like the kind of tutorial stuff. Because originally I had planned doing the master classes and then on the weekend do like a live stream and go over the topic a little more in depth to kind of help out people. And then like it became a clusterfuck, but it was fun. So like we just kept doing like a chill stream instead with a bunch of different people.
Gotcha.
It's a good
Sounds
time.
fun.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
it is a good time. Yeah, it's promotional, like promoting new comics and just talking about whatever. But we, also pointing out how stupid things that the mainstream does and talking about how awesome indies are.
For sure.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's a good time. Yeah, we're just hanging out.
Exactly. And like tonight, like we'll bring up other artists and other books that we enjoy too, and things that inspired us, and we kind of just go from there. It's a good time.
Yeah. I've been on a lot, and it's very fun. Awesome.
Yeah, there's been Harrison Ford appearances as well.
What? Okay, all right. Doubt.
Vinny's best friend, Harrison Ford.
Yesterday was his birthday, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah. I was on one of the Rogue Entertainment streams, and I had him on. I was doing him almost the entire time.
He just takes a break from Indiana Jones 5 to come hang out.
Yep.
Well, yeah, more or less.
Yeah. That's what happens.
It came up. I was doing a lot of like we had these streams, the Rogue Entertainment ones, where they're kind of like Star Wars topics and stuff like that, and I would pull up. I had this here. A photo of him that he's not the happiest, so it's kind of grumpy Harrison. And yesterday was my birthday, so now I'm 105. Indiana Jones and the broken hip. That's the name of the new one. Somebody kill me now.
Oh, it'll happen soon enough if you don't kill yourself.
Oh, wow.
Indy, why don't you? Well, he just crashed his plane again. I'm not hoping it on
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
I usually do.
Disavow.
I do bigger
No.
bits that are pretty funny.
He literally keeps on getting into accidents. It's horrible. Why does you want Harrison Ford to introduce Shadow of the Kraken?
Well, if you want me to, but
okay, you don't have to.
No, I know. I usually do my pitch. I let Harrison sleep like that. But if you didn't know, this is my 6th campaign. I'm a trusted creator. They call me the Fulfillment King. All those books I delivered. Again, Through the Woods, City of Venus, those books are still available as long as the art books. But this one is my pirate one. I did a whole bunch of research on this. I'm currently still doing a lot of research into the next issues because I'm going to be incorporating a lot more going on with this, including kind of like the start of piracy that not too many people are aware of. But this one's going to be killer. Our lead character, he goes from being part of the Royal Navy into piracy. You find out why. You know, it has to do again with his the other members in his crew that they kind of went off the rails, and it's a very violent scene. This book, I'm not pulling any punches. You'll see the brutality, you'll see the blood. But again, there's beautiful locations, there's beautiful women. There's going to be some supernatural elements in here as well. But there's also going to be characters and people from history that are going to be in this story. I did confirm it because a lot of people kept asking me, but yeah, there's going to be some. And again, I do everything here. I'm the writer, inker, colorist, letterer. I do it all. Yeah, that's
a pretty brutal panel right there.
Yeah, right now.
But again, that's what I want to do. I want to pull people on a journey. Every page, it has to be a page turner, at least in my eyes. If it's not just, the action sequences, it should be, again, just kind of like the world that I'm building here. I did it like Greeny, where it's like about 3 years in the making between the stuff I've been doing concept artwork on, building up this world, building up the characters, their backstories. So I have these great layers that slowly you're going to start to unravel, and you're going to learn more about them and what's going on. That skull that you see on that cover, that's a special variant cover that it's not going to be around forever. I will be pulling it before I fulfill, because it was supposed to be a one week cover, but some scumbag copied my campaign, literally everything, and put it on Kickstarter. I had to contact,
bullshit.
Yeah, I contacted the Federal Trade Commission in order to stop them because Kickstarter would not respond to me. Yeah, it was 5 emails. The DMCA, I did everything, and I had dozens of people messaging them. They were ignoring it all. That's how we know there's scumbags that still work in the mainstream that have ties to Kickstarter, and they were trying to hurt us.
Talk about pirates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's why 20 minutes after contacting the Federal Trade Commission, we shut down the entire thing because they shit their pants at that point. Dojo
that's what you got to do.
Yeah,
so
big shout out to them.
What is the main cover for the book then?
The main cover, if you scroll down a little bit more, well, you can see it on here on the side. But it's a little bit further down. It has like all the. I did like a movie poster kind of thing.
Sexy lady.
Always sexy lady.
This one.
Right there.
This one.
That's the main cover. So yeah, there's a lot that's going to be going on with this book. That villain you see, the guy with the patch kind of thing on his eye, he's another nasty piece of work. He's pursuing the main characters. You'll find out why. He's also pulling the strings from the shadows. He's that type of character, but he's not afraid to get his hands dirty either. So like a little bit of mix of like the Emperor and Darth Vader kind of mixed into one. Cool. So it's like we're playing with a lot in this story and kind of what I'm going to be doing. But again, you'll see how like these characters are. Yeah, he's a pirate now, the main one, but he kind of has his own rules. And he's starting to break them. There's going to be other influences, other things happening in the story where I'm playing with, how far is too far? Could you get back into the light from the darkness at a certain point? I'm playing with those aspects, but again, giving people a lot to chew on between the treasures. That's the skull that he finds. It has all these different, kind of treasure maps carved into it. It's coded, so it's not just a straight cut. I have it, and now I can find out where this is and that is. there's a lot more going on with this. But yeah, I'm super excited for people to see it. And it's going to be part of my connecting universe with my other books. So, yeah, I basically, if it's not a direct, a direct connection between the other books, it might be Easter eggs or certain items you'll see pop up in, again, like City of Venus and, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm building something bigger. I'm planning further ahead.
That I didn't know, because I've got your other books. City of Venus is kind of future, and you've got books that are kind of present.
Yeah,
and from the past.
Exactly. Present day, past, future. There's a lot of different stuff going on, but it's not direct, and people are going to be like, "Oh my god, I have to get them all." But if you do, you'll see these things pop up or certain things that kind of connect.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
It's the Vinnyverse. The Vinnyverse is coming together.
That's my So yeah, it's going to be a very good time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And everyone keeps asking me it everywhere that I go. Yes, after this is done and fulfilled, I'm going to be working on chapter 2 of City of Venus.
City of Venus. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, we're doing that.
Everybody wants it. You're on it.
Yes. Yeah, but again, the cliffhanger that I had on that book, I mean, as soon as people finish it, they're like, where's the next one? Where's the next one? But, that's what you want to hear.
That means you did it right, though. They're like angry for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this one has a killer cliffhanger as well. Reedy, I showed you the first page on Sunday.
I was going to say, I'm not going to say what it is, but Vinny has shown me the first page. Get this book. It is, I don't know how you haven't shown me the ending, but it's such a good opening. Okay. And you showed me some of the pages that aren't on here. This shit looks great.
Yeah, I'm going all out on this, and yeah.
Hey, Vinny, what's your favorite genre to work on?
Mine?
Yeah.
That's tough because I'm all over the place. Because I have a fantasy with sword and sorcery one as well that I had planned a long time ago. It's gonna be part of this connecting world as well. It's tough. It is really tough. I also did stuff with like Greek mythology that's going to be popping up in future books. Different. Yeah, I'm a fan of so many different things, so it's kind of hard to nail it down. But pirates is something that since I was a kid I've been huge about. I absolutely love it, and I want to get into again the brutality of what that world was. It wasn't your Jack Sparrows. It wasn't that whimsical kind of stupid pirate. It was a lot more serious, a lot more dangerous. So yeah, I currently I would say it's pirates, but
Scott says cool. You're expert in booty. Yeah, that's your genre.
Scott is a big fan. Backer #1 on this project.
I know
it's hard to make a universe though, because you get to just play with all the different genres together. It sounds like.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing because again, they don't. For anyone who just picks up one, they don't have to know it, or they won't really see the connection. But later on, I'm gonna have certain elements that are gonna be very, very key, and you'll see it. You don't have to know it, but I did it in a way where they could get each story and just appreciate and love it for what it is. But yeah, if you get them all, you'll see other surprises, and that I did something that's a little bit more tangible, I guess.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the link is in the chat. Thank you, Chimera, for posting the link as well. I also just posted it.
Oh, yeah.
So there's if you want to back Shadow the Kraken, hit the link in the chat right now.
Yes.
Right now. Yes.
Yes. Right now.
Right now.
And
James. Continue.
Oh no, I was going to say if you haven't seen my work and you're kind of on the fence, at the bottom of this campaign, I have links to my other ones, my active campaigns where they ship immediately. So Through the Woods, this beautiful hardcover book.
Yeah, I got that hardcover.
Yeah, John knows what's up. This ships. Like I said, City of Venus, the art books. Oh, sorry. There we go.
There we go. Look at that. Beautiful.
Fantastic. This is a ghost story, by the way. So if you guys didn't know, and it centers around our lead character here, Laura Langley. She's an investigative reporter who she inherits this property in upstate New York. Finds out it was a loggers camp, and there's some she gets kind of thrown into this world with these ghosts and stuff. But again, this is a completed series. So issues 1, 2, and 3, all in this 100 pages, hardcover. And it is like a European format, so it's if you want to see the comparison of a regular comic book.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Really get to enjoy the art.
Yeah, even
Absolutely.
with Vinny's in there, it really helps to have the other book to really see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
That's-
looks big, but you can
killer.
see the actual comparison.
Sick.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
it's beautiful.
I really like the color work on this one.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
Like dark
There's
and
a-
moody.
Yeah, there's lots of great stuff in this one. This is the one where I played with a couple of the flashbacks too, with the sepia thing I was talking about. Yeah, it's in there, and yeah, our writer's right there. Frankie knows.
There you
Yeah,
go.
and he signs it, I sign it. So make sure you back this if you haven't, because when it's gone for good. I'm not going back to printing a hardcover.
You modeled for the parrot. Is it true that Frankie is actually the parrot in your book?
Well, he's gonna have to fight Red Gaze on that one.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right.
Red
Well,
loves that parrot.
they can fight over that. You got to create a second one, or I don't know. Somebody can be the octopus. There you go.
Yeah, so it'll be that.
Wadsworth got a copy. Yes, awesome.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Hail, brother.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to get this. I have to get Through the Woods as well, but I'll have to wait for my next paycheck. But I want it.
Yeah, isn't that how it goes? I was backing so many books in the beginning. I'm like, oh, my wallet's hurting bad.
I backed like 16 books or something in the last 3 months. I'm like, Irene, stop, stop, but don't.
Yeah, it's an addictive thing. I think I'm up to 70 books.
Holy shit!
It's
very
tough.
impressive.
That's why I had to cut back because
Yeah, my wife's always asking me. She's like, "How come you go on shows and you end up backing stuff?" I'm like, because I end up seeing all this awesome stuff. I think I'm at 100 on Indiegogo.
Oh my god!
And probably like 40 something on Kickstarter.
I know somebody.
Nice.
I'm not gonna say his name, but he's backed over 400 projects.
Golly!
I didn't know that there were that many.
Whoever
someone
that
I
is, thank you
know?
for your service.
Have I been on this person's show? Did
You
he?
didn't-
No.
I
Okay.
think you might have been on a stream with him.
Okay. If it's a might have, then okay. Yeah, well, it's okay. It doesn't matter. But that's very impressive. Whoever you are out there, you're.
I think Shay's probably headed towards 300.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's impressive. Those are impressive numbers.
We couldn't do it without you in the chat and everyone backing these books. Is what we're saying. You are the people, because we're not backed by any corporations. We don't have people marketing for us. The people, what's holding these projects and what's holding us up are the people in the chat, you guys, and the people like this number right here, this right here, these. We depend on this. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yes.
Yep. That's all we are. We're just here. It's just us. We don't have venture capital or funding by anybody.
That's why I did Through the Woods as a hardcover, because it was a stretch goal I talked about during a live stream, and people were like, oh my God, that would be perfect. I'm like, but I crunched the numbers as tight as I could, because everybody says you have to have 6 figures before you could do something like that. And I proved that no, that's not the case. And you can give people, what they're worth, and that's what Through the Woods. That was the point of that book, and they continue to help and support. So, if that one's over 40,000, which is great, but again, that was like my thank you to everybody. So I didn't see much out of that, but again, it was my big thank you to everybody for backing the projects that they've backed so far, and we're going to continue keeping that level super high, because fans first. That's it.
Yes. Fans first. That's
Absolutely.
Right on, man.
Phil Diaz at the last minute.
What up, Phil?
What's up?
Phil?
Hello there.
What's up? Just wanted to hop on, say what's up.
Oh yeah, no, hop on. Pimp your book. We're approaching the 3-hour mark, but
Cool,
dude,
no
you can show your book, tell everybody who you are, what your wares are.
Just sub to Zaid Comics, the channel. I just was.
That's it.
Yeah, just popping in.
Those are some nice sunglasses.
Thank you. We live in a meme simulation. I just want you to know that.
Oh, I see. I can, You revealed the truth of the universe.
You got the Roblox classes going on.
I hope
The
your
sim-
channel doesn't get struck for me saying that and revealing the truth.
Oh, it's fine. If it hasn't been struck at this point, then that's nothing, frankly. With all the other crap that I've done. Do you have a campaign you want to pull up?
Yeah, people could. I guess so. Give me a second. Sorry.
Oh, you could just drop it in the private chat. James, I know your campaign is not live yet, but do you have like a preview or something? Oh, it's in the pre-launch. Do you have, because I don't know how Kickstarter or Indiegogo has like a pre-launch page where we can see the basics.
So the Kickstarter just has a single image up, so you can't see all of the super sick art Carlos has done. But I mean, I could send you some pictures.
Does it have a sign up?
Oh yeah. You can sign up for notifications. It's going live on Tuesday.
Okay. You know what? Just drop that link in the private chat, and I will. Even if it's one image, we'll pull it up.
All right, right on.
Everything up. Yeah, and you're going to be back on the show. I'm booked next week. I have Tailless on next week, but the week after.
Arya Black is awesome.
Yeah, Arya Black.
That's perfect timing because I'm working next Wednesday and then I'm off the Wednesday after that. So
perfect. Okay, so come on the
serendipity.
Wednesday after, and hopefully we'll organize things and we'll show more of your campaign.
Oh, I haven't really advertised it yet. I have a personal website that has like the first 9 pages up for free, so you can take a gander at that too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Nice. Get a little tasty taste.
Detonator.
So me, Carlos, and I are working on a book called Detonator, and it asks the question: what would you do to help a friend that's struggling with depression? And after all conventional methods have failed, our protagonist Kaz decides to blow up his friend's house.
Wait, your protagonist's name is also Kaz?
Yeah, Shota Kazumiro.
No!
We have to fight? All right. It was
just kidding.
We both know Taekwondo. It'll be a good fight.
It will be. I'll live stream it.
But so he blows up his friend's house because his friend has superpowers and was once a superhero, but due to suffering from PTSD and depression, he's withdrawn into his room. And even though he can fly to the moon and back, he's not leaving his house. So when everything else fails, Kaz says, you have too much to offer the world to feel sorry for yourself. So if you're not going to leave your room, I'm going to blow it up, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you.
So did he blow it up with him in it?
Oh yeah. It's in the 9-page preview.
He became agoraphobic, and his friend blew up his home.
Yeah.
Yay,
and
best opening ever.
There are obviously it's a really unhealthy and reckless plan, and exploring why he chose to do this and the unintended consequences make up the story of Detonator. And if that sounds cool to you guys in the chat, click on that notify button. We got tons of good art from Carlos. It's freaking mind-blowing. I was so blown away. And it's going to be the Kickstarters for the first 3 issues, and it's 65 pages in addition to our cover and credit pages. And there's going to be a ton of sweet rewards, like variant covers from artists who have worked on The Last of Us 2 and Rick and Morty. Like Douglas De La Hoz did some pretty cool backgrounds for them.
Very cool.
And I can't wait to share more with you guys when my Kickstarter page launches on Tuesday.
That's awesome, man.
Tuesday.
Sweetness.
All right. Sweetness. So it will be live when you are on the show promoting it in 2 weeks' time.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Yeah.
I would say that it's I would equate it to like somewhere between the TV series like Invincible and The Boys, combined with the exploration of mental illness that you'd see in shows like Mr. Robot. Like it goes from crazy action sequence to exploring those emotions.
That's cool.
Oh, very
Sounds
cool.
fantastic.
I just signed up. That's cool.
Ah, thank you, bro.
That looks dope.
There you go.
Nice.
That looks dope.
Yes.
I want to guilt
Those are
Snick
cool.
to give me a free copy, but that's not going to happen. I'm actually going to sign up and pay you. So
I really appreciate that.
that's the most insincere appreciation. It's okay. I'm being a terrible
I really told
person.
James to not send me the copies because it's the whole issue with when I told you it's like don't waste money sending him over here because it's gonna be expensive. I'd rather wait for whenever we actually get a chance to go to the U.S. to not waste everybody's money with shipping.
Oh
Listen,
yeah.
I hear where you're coming from, but one of the stretch goals we have is the enamel pin, and I am sending you an enamel pin with those 3 issues.
Oh yeah, that's different. Yeah, because that should be light and small, and also it's not a pick that I can just get with all this. Yeah, that'll be cool.
Oh, I totally just realized. I'm so doofy. I printed the first 3 issues and I have them right here.
Oh my gosh!
And I can show off the art from them.
Show
All right.
them!
So here's the first cover, the first issue.
That
And
looks amazing.
Oh wow.
yep, all Carlos there. This is the second cover. There's kind of gloss on this one, so it's kind of hard to.
Fuck.
That is
Yeah.
glossy.
You can still see it though. Very
And
nice.
then
Excellent.
and then I love the third issue, dude. It's
You had I think that's the one that you had the most input on because you were really psyched about video games.
I did. I was stressing. There's an action scene that deals with arcades, so I wanted the cover to have some 16-bit action,
Oh, nice.
and I think that was the thing I was most adamant about.
Nice.
That's killer.
That is so great. That helps a lot to have like the physical books there because people want to see. Well, again, you're not running out with their money.
Here's some. Yeah, it's all done. Every issue is complete. The art is sick.
Frankie knows says nice covers. Yes, they are, and that is
Thank
very
you.
sick art. Look at those
Um,
yeah, Eric McIntyre said those covers are good. Yes.
Yeah, I really and speaking of speed lines, we got a few speed lines
Oh, I see you.
up
I
there.
see you.
Yes.
I see you.
Really good speed lines.
Yeah, and I love the color work on both Carlos's and Douglas's, who takes over in the following 2 issues, and you get some really cool experimental paneling and coloring, like on this page right here. It's so trippy.
That is
Nice.
really nice. Love that
Yeah.
limited 2-tone palette. It's really
Yep.
intense.
It's pretty wild stuff.
Shit!
Oh man.
Hell yeah!
Awesome.
This is why I'm hiring him.
Sign up.
Yeah.
Sign up for the list, people. If
Sign
you haven't
up.
done so, sign up.
Yes,
The book already
link is in the
produced.
chat.
And
Book's
there's
already
some
produced.
there's some tits and ass in here as well.
Whoa.
I just want to show off one
That
single
always
image.
helps.
What kind of
That
shit
always
did I
helps.
jump in on?
There's
James.
What do you mean?
There's-
What kind of stream? Have you been on
We
my
got-
show?
we got Detonator in a Speedo. Suntanning.
Yay! That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. I mean, that's not quite enough ass for me, but
All right, I mean,
It's all right.
it's going to be a 7-issue series, so we'll work that in somewhere.
okay, cool. I'm glad you're keeping me in mind.
I have to say, like, I've been watching Nick work on this. It's like he's kind of become known as a colorist in the general like industry, but like he can draw too, and he's like
Yeah.
not enough people have
absolutely.
seen how well he can draw, and it's all in Detonator. I'm so excited for this book to finally be out. And
Yeah.
I can't wait. That
I
that
can
looks
affirm
amazing.
Nick can actually draw, and he never
Draw
gets to show
very
it off.
well.
He only gets to show it off when he does like art for a Pathfinder game, but he drew
This
this
is-
whole book.
This is
Yeah,
why in every
it's
script
amazing.
I'm like, yeah, if you think your idea is better with the paneling, just go crazy, dude.
Awesome. I can tell this is going to be great.
We added
Oh, yeah.
a whole extra like 2 pages to the next issue on his recommendation, and I think the book's better for it.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Congratulations, man.
Fantastic.
Having that in the can. Congratulations. It's a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Thank
Christian says, I'm sketchy on Kickstarter, don't have an account there. Yeah, Kickstarter has like burned a lot of people, but if it's a good campaign and the people are vouched for, which I could say these people are vouched for. I mean, I'm backing it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
And I think you should check it out.
It's a cool character.
I don't know if you mentioned it because I think it's just that our connection kind of blew out in the middle
Yeah.
of it. Did you mention that the first issue is also in Comixology? for whoever wants to check it out?
Yeah. So
Well,
I forgot about that. Yeah, so it's on Comixology. It's all there. It's fucking awesome. I'd say check it out.
but bam. All right.
But if you check it out on Comixology, you better support the Kickstarter. You better.
It's a really good way to be able to actually like promote the book when I'm showing it to people. I think we did the same thing with That Follows. Just having it in Comixology because I don't need internet. I can just have all the pages there and show it off.
Yeah.
Well.
And the first 9 pages are free on my website at jamesparrishcomics.com.
James Parrish. Okay.
I'm super creative with the title.
Your title.
Oh no, that works if you have like a name that's
Yeah, it makes it easy to find you when you have a very simple name.
Yep.
Let's see.
No, I don't find it.
the link.
It's true. It's true. I'm not taking offense.
Nick,
Carlos, I'm never talking to your wife again. All right.
It's not about you, everybody else bugging me about me having a long name.
It's not about you having a long name.
It's not the fact that you have a long name. I have a long name, and I have 2 names. It's the fact that you can't decide whether to use Nick or Carlos. Okay, we're not going to get into this. I dropped the link for James's website, so go check out the preview. Hell yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, I just look at the preview. Yeah, oh my God, those pages look amazing.
There you go. That's a better look at it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I love those colors.
Yeah, I love that #1 cover. It's cool.
Wow.
That's damn good.
A little bum head. What a cool character design. All right, you want this. You know
what you're doing, kid.
You know what you're doing. You want this.
AC, your friend Mary, who put us in contact, edited the first issue, by the way, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, me and her, we used to play D&D a lot together.
Cool.
Oh, you never told me that.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Everybody needs your D&D. We have concluded. That is what we have concluded here. D&D brings everybody together.
Or Pathfinder.
Or Pathfinder, yes. I know. Yeah, I should be saying Pathfinder more because we were discussing this the other day. Like, I keep on saying D&D, but we play Pathfinder, and
we don't play just anything.
Yeah, it is a different game, and it is. I do like Pathfinder more, so I gotta start saying.
R.I.P. Blingo.
R.I.P. Blingo, and for Blingo in the chat.
Poor Blingo.
We're not. Yeah, are we? We'll explain it some other time.
Was that the little elf dude?
No, it was the goblin. It was the goblin died, and it was AC's character.
Blingo did 9/11 apparently, according to Chimera. Wow.
Really?
Chimera.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That little destructive piece of shit. Do you know how many times my character, that little shit, blew himself and my character up, and I had to like clean up after him?
Hell yeah!
Oh my god.
I know nothing, but I trust Chimera.
Look how happy she is that she put me through so much hell in this game. So, oh hell yeah! I played a chaotic goblin who was evil half the time and almost got us killed.
Yeah,
she did a great voice for it too.
Many times. That was a good goblin.
Yeah,
I do miss him though, even though he's a little shit.
He deserved it. He deserved it a few times. I don't know how he lasted that long.
There was one fight where he blew himself up and he was 1 hit point from being dead, and like my character pulled him back. I don't know how he lasted this long. So anyways.
Blingo's a pimp. What can I say?
Blingo is a pimp. He is, yeah. Thank you all for your concern for Blingo. So, Phil, your works. What do you have for us?
I dropped the link in the private chat, but for the sign up for my next book that should be launching after we ship.
I had it pulled up. I'm stupid. I didn't even remember.
There it is. So, Lost Pages 2, everybody. This is the sequel to our amazing, badass, like superhero comic that we shipped this past February. We crowdfunded it last year. Here's what the book looks like, the first one. We had an awesome cover by Simon Bisley. It has a ton of different creators or artists in it.
You're showing it.
So yeah, check that out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at that
That
cover.
was a good one.
I dig the hand tattoo.
Oh yeah. That was like a last minute note. I'm like, so this character, his name is Krim, and he's the big badass imaginary friend from this chick's childhood.
Okay.
And
I love it.
as she grows up, he actually is fighting all of her inner demons, and she forgets about him. But she has this traumatic event happen in her life, and he comes back. And as you can see, here's them as kids. He's making fun of her principal.
Oh, right.
So that's what he looked like when they were kids, and then he comes back into her life looking like a jacked badass.
Yeah, they both lifted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep, they both gained like 200 pounds of muscles each.
So, but they're still best friends and stuff, and so this is look at that,
dude. I love the pink and blue. It's really nice. It pops.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Krim is like everybody's favorite character. So we're gonna see, Taz, which is the chick's name, and Krim back in the sequel. And yeah, this was a last minute thing. I'm like, he has tattoos on his arms, and during fights and stuff, since he's an imaginary friend, they could read and say different things. So I'm like, oh, this would be perfect. So I sent Simon Bisley the message. I'm like, could we read this on his arms? And he's like, yeah, so perfect. But yeah, this has a bunch of different creators. This next book is going to be focusing on our character, the Silhouette. He's like a badass vigilante. He's a specter. He doesn't really know about who he was when he was alive, but he is cleaning up the streets of Chicago. The story is black, white, and red for blood. Cool. It's awesome. I can actually show you a double-page spread that I just got in for the Silhouette. Sorry about the loud noises outside my window.
Oh, no problem at all.
Check this out. So the blood and gore will be in red. This is, you guys were talking about speed lines. This guy does
nice.
Speed lines, yes, more speed lines.
That looks good.
So you'll get some kick-ass action. It's going to be around probably like 70 pages, and it's going to have multiple artists in it again, but the bulk of the story is going to focus on the Silhouette.
Hey Phil, is the stuff with the Silhouette and the other guys, is it separate stories, or are they all connected? Or how does this work?
So yeah, it's kind of like Sin City, where all the characters live in the same world, and we're building up for them meeting and interacting and saving the world together. So there's actually kind of a through line story that involves a homeless guy by the name of the Hobo, and he carries a magical book called the Book of Lost Pages, and inside this book, so you can see here, if you want to blow me up again, this kind of illustrates it pretty well. You can see the Hobo here. He tells the stories to other vagabonds. He's got this cosmic book that has all these stories in it, and he's kind of the key to the whole universe, and it's building up to something that's going to be really big. So it's kind of an anthology, but all written by me and has a cohesive story to it. Yeah.
Sweet. The art is really freaking good. Like you said, you have a variety of artists, but like all the art I've seen is really fucking good.
Yeah.
Those stuff where you mix with different styles is always fun.
Yeah. Let me show you what Krim looks like now. So in this part, or in this sequel, Crimstone, there's actually two different artists drawing the characters. So the chick is going to be drawn by Avery Butterworth, and she's still got her curves, but she's a powerhouse. And you could see in the background here, you could see Krim's face in the reflections of the glass.
Ooh, neat.
Nice.
He's in her mind. And a thing we'll find out in this story is children can actually see him, but no one else can. He could see him. Kids could see him, and he's like freaked out by what he sees. And then this is a big double-page spread. We haven't had it colored yet, but this is what he's going to be looking like now.
Oh, shit!
Nice. Yeah.
Get some like punk rock Venom vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's kind of like my mixture between the Lobo and the Max.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, big purple guy is going to be so cool. I can't wait to see this colored. So
Love it.
you get the ultra violence from him. Yeah.
Speed lines.
So is Krim like an avatar that fuels her strength almost in this scene?
Yeah. So in action sequences, we're gonna have like you could see him in reflection. So in her head, she sees him trashing everybody, but in reality, she's doing it. And when she has that connection with him, she gets like super strength and like enhanced healing and stuff like that. I definitely want to explore different stories with the characters. They're a lot of fun to play with, and I love that dynamic of he's this huge guy and she's this like babe chick, and they really play a lot. I have a lot of fun with the characters.
I love it. That's great. This is like JoJo's, but like even more ridiculous somehow. Good job.
Yeah, so
it pulls me back to when I was watching and reading the Max. That's really
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I love that stuff. And he was like, a lot of inspirations in there, like his big teeth. I love the character, the mask, like the Dark Horse, like Jim Carrey mask, and I love those big teeth that he had. So put a lot of that into him. But if you guys sign up, we're doing a contest right now where we're doing art giveaways. So a bunch of awesome creators, I got them to draw another one of my characters that we're going to do an ash can with. He's called The People. He's kind of a mixture between Daredevil and Captain America and Casey Jones. And there's a bunch of different traditional art pieces that you guys will be able to win if you sign up for the mailing list.
Yeah, sign up now. I'm gonna post that link one more time in case it got buried.
I'm sold.
Amira just posted it. Thank you very much.
And for those who didn't grab the first one, we'll have that available on the sequel campaign as well.
The Lost Pages one was a really good anthology. Like you said, had that through that red thread with the hobo.
Yeah,
kind of tying all the characters together, but really well done. Definitely had that nice, good kind of Sin City type of vibe to it.
Thanks.
I gotta say, I really like the silhouette. I really like the silhouette. I love the scratchy art style.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of him in this story, so we're going to get a glimpse of his backstory. There's a new villain that we'll be exploring. I could actually show you guys the cover of the book.
Sure.
I'll show you the black and white version. This is some of the head sketches that'll be up for grabs if you're on the mailing list.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
The people is awesome.
Right in the face. It was amazing.
He's a badass. Let me see. Where is the? Oh, here we go. So this is Preston Acevedo doing the cover of the book. And so this is the silhouette in the background, and we have the new bad guy. His name is El Dorado, and he's a supervillain obsessed with gold. He has this gold-plated lower jaw that's like bone, and he could shoot like lasers and stuff, like gold magic, and his magic rivals the silhouette, so he could actually hurt the silhouette.
All right.
Nice.
That's great. Oh yeah, such good art.
It's gonna be sick.
Now I need to get this too. Oh, more books. Oh my gosh.
Be black and gold.
Yes, yeah. It's gonna be cool.
I like those colors. Yeah. Those
That'll
are one of my
work.
favorite colors. Awesome. No, what have you done? I do this show to like I have people on to promote their books. I ended up just backing everything, and it's like really not good. Somebody in the chat asked about the hole in my ceiling. It is still there, and I found out insurance won't cover it. So that's how that's going. But I will still back the books because I'm going to support indie comics. What were you saying? What?
No, I read. It's okay. You'll eventually just be able to have enough comics to patch up your ceiling with them.
Yeah, I'm going to. No, I don't want to use the I'll use I'm just buying the comics to get like the shipping boxes, and I'll use like the boxes from shipping to actually build the ceiling again.
But then some of the boxes, like Eddie Winkler's, are so nice you can't use those boxes.
I know.
Have you seen the Sovereign Wolf box? Like
I have.
My wife's like, you're not throwing away the box. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, I still have mine.
Yeah,
I've seen it. It's just like it's gonna be an art piece. I have to put it on my mantle,
Yes.
and that's it. Yeah,
I want to see this box now. What does it look like?
Yeah, stop making nice things, people. Oh, we have to end the show. I don't.
All right, I won't go grab the box.
You know what? Oh, you should grab it. No, you should go grab it.
All right, let me see if I can go find it.
Yeah. It's okay. We can show it. We don't have to end it, but I do. Well, I don't know. I'm having fun. I don't want to end the show. This is so much fun. We keep on going forever. Come on, 5-hour stream. Yeah, you guys down for it?
Oh yeah.
Wadsworth said the first Lost Pages was awesome. Can't wait for part 2.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
See if I can do this without fully doxing myself here.
No, don't. Please.
I'm already doxed.
Yeah. No, don't cover your address. That is nice. It
I
just
will cover my address.
yes, cover it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
This is the box it came in. I can't even throw it out.
I've seen a lot of people doing indies. They just package, just like that. Like Eris Saga is doing that too. And it comes about. I'm really tempted because Brian from Eris Saga was like, "I'll tell you where to get that." I was like, "I don't need to spend more money on. I can't. I need to."
Please.
Just put all those on bookmarks for other campaigns.
I will.
You guys, Irene was talking to us during this week, and she's like, "So look at the packaging tape I made with Fiendish logos on it."
Yes.
What?
Oh, I made a packaging tape of like Fiendish.
How?
How? Nice. So I'm going to. I'll show you guys. Okay. Well, since we're talking about Fiendish, hey everybody, you should back this campaign. Look at this.
Fiendish.
Back this campaign so Irene can patch up the hole in her ceiling.
Please help me fix my ceiling. Its insurance will fucking cover it.
Okay, patch the ceiling, and then if we get enough money, Carlos can paint the ceiling. Color work.
I'll
More
fly
color
in
work.
from Colombia just to paint my ceiling. Woo! We're 596. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
When do you think you're going to be done? Just because I'm selfish and I want to know when the book's coming.
When this book,
Yes.
Fiendish?
Yes.
Well, I am the book was everything that was before these like 4 extra pages was done. So the whole book was originally 46 story pages, but our 25K stretch goal was to add 4 pages. So that's what I'm working on right now, but I kind of rocketed through those. I'm working on the second from last page right now. I had to stop because I spent all of yesterday actually working on the trading cards. The trading cards are going to have the character stats on the back. They're going to be Pathfinder stats, and I had to stat everybody out, and I was doing tons of math and looking at all these different archetype and classes, and I was doing math all day, and that's what I didn't get a lot of work done on the actual pages, but I'm going to finish that page tonight. And
A machine.
So the pages themselves, I'm going to do the shading, and then Carlos is going to do the colors. The colors will come later. So the pages will be done, to answer your question, by like Friday, and I'm hoping to send, if the proof looks good, to send this to print within like 2 weeks, because I am going to fulfill the grayscale in August. So yeah, I'm like 1.5 pages away from finishing this. So it's 50 story pages with 10 pages of extra content, and it will be in full color, although I am also offering grayscale version, like I said.
Sweet.
No, I can't breathe. I don't want
Can't wait.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up the packing tape. Okay. Yes, I do always.
That's a very fat. Gonna take a nap.
Next week she's gonna come up with. I also made a prank for just Fiendish toilet paper. Guys, like,
Whoa.
And she statted the toilet paper.
Don't get her ideas, hun.
Listen, the things we've been talking about. So we statted out the characters, and Carlos is stacking out the I can't even talk right. The monster, and like we were talking about doing more trading cards for like, ooh, the corpse should have a trading card. Wouldn't that be funny?
Oh my god.
yeah.
Which I'm actually considering for our next stretch goal, because I actually think that would be really interesting. There's a lot of stuff you can add to corpses, you know.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, so I just gotta go. I'll be right back.
No, don't leave. Okay.
Yes, 911. Go back to Irene's house.
No,
Those old people were right.
I've had enough. police showing up at my house for a long time. There we go. Okay, so that's the packing tape.
That looks good.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, I found it.
And get this nice packing tape.
It only cost like $30 to make, so it wasn't. I was getting my stickers made, and I was like, oh, they offered, to make packing tapes as well. So this is just like a repeating thing, and it's like I'm gonna get couple 100 feet of it, and so I'll use like standard mailers because I already have a bunch. I already ordered my packing material, but like the tape will be this, so it'll be real nice, and you'll know when your book arrives. Like I couldn't resist. It wasn't even that much.
That's awesome.
And hopefully I'll convince people in USPS to back my book too.
Irene, the chat's concerned.
I've done that.
The police? No, I had nosy neighbors that came. Oh, I mentioned this in the pre-show. Yeah, I had nosy neighbors that came knocking last night because like I had friends over and there was like their truck was outside and the neighbor's like, well, I live by a bunch of old people, so they're like, we don't recognize the truck. Oh my god, we have to call the police. So the police came knocking, and honestly, like the police officer looked so annoyed. She was just like, yeah, your neighbors are like, why is there a truck outside? They haven't seen it before. I was like, it's my friend's truck. They're like, okay, bye. It was
It's illegal to have trucks.
It wasn't even that late. It was like 10:30. So I mean, I appreciate it. Means it's a safe neighborhood, but at the same time, kind of nosy, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so, no, I don't have a crack house. Calm down.
They were hanging out in that hole in the ceiling. They saw them from the roof waving.
I don't know, like probably. And
ooh, that's fucking sick.
Oh wow, yeah, you really.
That's what I've been working on.
Yeah, I saw some of this on Sunday. Holy crap, that looks beautiful.
That's all I'm gonna show of them.
Really cool.
Oh, I want to show more. I was like, should I show this? I can't resist. I'm really proud of this scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's gonna look even cooler when it's like shaded and when it's like colored up. So I'm really excited. So it's it's just a quick action scene at the end, but it introduces Ragna, my caster character here, who's an absolute badass, and you get to see her in her full glory. And I can't wait to see this colored as well. So back Fiendish if you want a copy of this good stuff.
Do it.
Bam. Yeah, do it. And that's all I have to show.
Do it.
If I show I'm gonna start like revealing everything, including like all the trading cards. I'm just like, no, that's just for the backers. I can't spoil everything.
So I could back Fiendish even though the campaign is over. I'm like a total noob to this.
Yeah, that's why I like Indiegogo more because you can. There's flexible funding, and I use that when like I wasn't sure if my campaign would make it because I was really
well. It definitely did.
It did. I know. Yeah. Okay, my original goal was 2,500, and like I was not expecting to get anything.
Just multiply that by 10. No big deal.
I know it was pretty wild.
Yeah, James. If you didn't know, as long as if you meet goal, you could keep it in demand. There's like an option for that. So
that's cool.
It's like a store. Like my the Lost Pages is still in demand, even though we're working on other books. So we just use it as a store. Vinny was like the first person I knew to do that. Right. And work on other stuff. So like technically you could go look up the Lost Pages, you could back that, and we ship it out the next day. Like we're still getting backers. We just got a new one the other day and we shipped it out Tuesday. So we ship it out next day. It'll get to the person in a week. So it's kind of cool because like I'm working on another book right now that is in demand currently, and we're shipping out at the end of the month. It's getting printed, but we could still talk about the old ones, and if they want something to read right now before our new stuff comes out, we could just ship it out.
Yep. That's really smart. I'm definitely using Indiegogo next time.
We recommend that highly for sure because that's what I did. I had 3 other active campaigns. I closed one of them and moved it over to City of Venus. So like I had an art book by itself. So now I put both art books with City of Venus. So I can manage it a little bit better because I'm, it starts to get to be too much.
Yeah, if you have a bunch of open campaigns.
Yeah.
I think so the prerequisites are your campaign has to make its original goal before it closes. And what happens is if backers back it during like the active campaign, it's cheaper. And you have you have to set a price. Okay, you have to sign up for, will I go into in-demand or not? And if you say, yes, I plan on going into in-demand when you first launch, you set 2 prices. So for example, a $15 book during the active campaign will be $20 in in-demand. And it's essentially like buying it from a comic shop price.
Okay.
But people can keep on buying it, and Indiegogo will only take it down if there are no orders for 6 months. But as long as you keep on getting orders, it'll stay up until like you take it down yourself.
Nice. Okay.
So you can just use it as a storefront to keep on selling the book.
All right. This is okay. Checking it out.
Indiegogo. Yeah, I just like the flexibility of the Indiegogo platform more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and from what people are saying in the chat, it's just better for creators as well financially.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard, their fees are less as well, which is nice. I like to keep my money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, money is good.
Who'd have thought?
Money
good.
Me like money, good. And here's the
Winter Hulk.
money good.
Money good.
Is that a good one? Money.
Hulk spent.
She grabbed her junk while she said that.
Oh my god.
Not you, Winter Hulk.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean,
Hey, that's how Marvel rolls now.
Oh, yes. Well, as you can see, it's the posters by Carlos. These are, and the poster on the right by Yvonne will be colored as well. He's almost done, I swear.
Oh, yeah.
And here's a Demon Sandy that comes with it. It is the first installment in my mystery action adventure comic, and it's about a group of young men and women on a journey of vengeance against otherworldly demons. And these demons are the ones that you've seen here. My main character, Casimir, is the sole survivor of, as far as he knows, the sole survivor of an attack on his hometown. Here is one of the pages at the very beginning. This is also colored by Carlos. So all the pages will look like this when he's finished. And as far as Casimir knows, yes, my main character's name is also Kaz. That's why we're gonna have to fight over it. But he survived this attack, and he ran away, and he grew up somewhere like days and days of travel away. And he tried to forget about his past, tried to forget about these demons that no one has ever seen before, because even though this is a fantasy world, these are still mysterious creatures, and it's not like just around every corner you see them. No one has any idea what their origins are. They have very strange abilities, and they're very dangerous. But when like years and years later, suddenly these creatures show up again in the woods in Kaz's new residence, and they start killing again. And Casimir realizes that he is uniquely qualified to figure out where the origins of these beasts are. So he takes upon himself to revisit his past. He realizes he can't run away anymore, and along with some like-minded individuals and like-minded friends, he goes on a journey to uncover this mystery and find out the truth, and hopefully put an end to this demonic infestation.
Hell yeah.
Niceness.
Yeah, and if you like stuff like Berserk, Vinland Saga, you probably, this whole stream, I've just told everyone all my influences. But besides from that, I haven't mentioned, like, I'm a huge FMA fan as well. So when you see the magic system, it'll be like it's a little Avatar, but a little FMA as well. And it's also a little bit Hunter x Hunter. It's complicated, but it's really cool. I'm really, really proud of our magic system. Oh my god, I can't wait to show. There's more of that in chapter 2 and 3, but that's why I want to add the preview for Ragna at the end, because she's like my magic caster character. Like Casimir is like he's a fighter. He's like a frontliner. Iskil is the range fighter. Yomi's sort of like roguish, and she's like younger, and her journey's like she's learning to fight, and but Ragna's she's super badass. She's been training to be a shaman her whole life, and she's like my magic blaster character, and she's absolutely fantastic. And I'm so glad that we got to 25K so I can introduce this character early.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excited to see her.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, the art is phenomenal. I'm blown away, especially with the stuff you previewed. That boar page was wild.
Oh, I'm so proud of that. I think I've improved a little over the course of the book, because I've been working on this for a long time. As I've been kind of going back, editing things, and also doing a lot of writing. But I'm very proud of this book, and I've been saying this is my dream project. I've been wanting to have my own comics since I was 14, and I tried doing comics in the mainstream. And while it was nice, I appreciated work opportunities, I realized that I was never going to be creatively fulfilled. I want to create my own thing. I want to go independent, and I just really like being independent. Anyways, I have a problem with being told what to do. So I was like, I got to be my own boss, and I have ideas. So no one was going to give me that opportunity. I can't sit around and wait for Image will notice me, or like somebody will notice me, because like to be published at Image, you kind of have to be like independently famous, or you have to fund yourself. So I was like, well, why not try crowdfunding, right? Why not just use the internet and use like whatever channels we have at our fingertips in this wonderful digital world, and just do it. Like honestly, sometimes you just stop thinking about it. You have to do it, and that's what I realized I had to do. And now here we are.
Hell yeah. That's the way to do it. Because again, the work you're doing on here is amazing. People, they could see it. That's why as soon as they knew about you, they couldn't help but back it. I was the same way. I didn't see you on a stream. I saw this in passing. I was like, holy shit, this looks amazing. You know?
Oh, I mean, it's the backers, it's the community, and it's the people that are supporting these books. Because I've been told that there are people dropping links for Fiendish in other people's streams, like when I'm not even there promoting it. Yeah. And I mean, how could it's almost unbelievable. It's such a great scene to be involved in, and it's good to know that there are so many people that are are open to new creators and for indie comics. It's heartening. And
well, it's a great product, and at the end of the day, that's what you want to be judged on. But you made something that's awesome. So people want, there's no one's reticent about that. And I was like, well, what has she done before? No, you can look and see what she's doing right now, and it's like, this is freaking amazing. What tripped me out is like, okay, so I saw you on a show, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna back, and then I'm like, what's all this other stuff? I was like, she's like MacGyver. She makes everything.
Well, I'm not. That's Vinny. We've established that, but close.
Well, you do the wood burning, and you do all this other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, but I sometimes I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I'm trying to actually kind of focus more. That's why these trading cards are by AC. This is AC's work you see right here. And,
oh my God.
So good. Looks so good. Honestly, I was like, I want to hire her for a whole chapter, but she's already really busy with her own stuff. But I'm like, I'm ready to, get some other artists to contribute to this project as well, because I wanted to move along faster, because this is for the sake of the backers. I want them to get their books sooner, so they don't have to wait forever, because if you're one person doing everything, it takes longer. So even though I'm still I'm quality control, I'm a giant control freak, and I'm going to make sure everything is exactly how I want it. I think stuff like this, because I think AC style really meshes with the project. And she was here from the start, because as I mentioned, I came up with this idea when we were playing Pathfinder 3 years ago. And both Nick and AC were there when I was like, hey, I have this idea for a comic. What do you guys think? And it took off from there. So it was just really perfect. And she was the perfect person to bring on for these trading cards. So there's 4 trading cards right now. I'm probably going to do more depending on what stretch goals we get to. Oh, and the 30K stretch goal. Oh, I haven't posted that yet. That'll be a world map poster. That was what people voted for. It's not something that I wanted to make just for no reason, AC and Nick. It was what backers voted for. I need a 30K stretch goal. So there you go.
But that was, you wanted to make that map. I know you did.
I mean, I kind of did. Honestly, I wanted to hold off a bit, because the characters I wanted to wait until the characters were traveling a little more, but the backers really like the world map, because I have everything on the website right here. I have my world building material, I have character profiles, I have my constructed language. Yes, I built a language for this world. I'm a little nuts. And I have the Pantheon, I have all kinds of stuff. I have a 20-page preview as well. And as you can see here, this is the world map that I built, and I have more to the world than this, of course, but this is what I'm revealing so far. And people just really loved it, and they wanted a poster of it. So it's a postcard of this map is going to be the 30K stretch goal. That's going to go out to the trading cards, and this postcard will go out to all backers if we hit that. So
beautiful.
I love it. The little postcard I wish you were here on the corner.
Wish you were here.
Wish you were here?
Yeah, because that's what you always get on the cliche postcard.
Oh, I could do that. I'll write it in ARTSHOW.
That'd be great.
I love that.
There you go.
Or they ask you to say, go to the website and here's the language, decipher it.
That's kind of what I'm doing. It's not going to be that much of it. The sound effects are all in the Narsa, by the way. So let's see. Let me pull up one of the finished pages.
I see it on the bottom right there.
Yeah. See. So yeah, I built a language for this world just because I wanted things to be that immersive, and I'm doing all the sound effects in the Narsa. You don't have to learn the language to read the comic. I'm not going to torture people like that. But it would. But it'll just.
He's saying, "Oh fudge," but he didn't say fudge. He said the V word.
He definitely didn't. I mean, you don't have to censor yourself. This is my
just
choice.
quoting that.
Nick says it means womp.
Womp. Yeah, it's just womp. That's what's going on here. What?
He's just saying hello.
Oh, glomp? Oh my gosh. You're just saying hello. It's a kiss. It's a kissy sound. It's just the monster wants to kiss him. But yeah,
it's a romance.
It's a romance. Yeah, it's a romance between this cute little demon and this jolly guy over here.
It's the same sound that Winter Hulk makes.
It probably is. Oh man. But yeah, I can't thank everyone for backing this project enough. This I've been working on this for a really long time, like 3 years in the making. This is my dream project, and there's so much more that I want to show everyone. This is just the first chapter in a much larger story, and I'm already working on chapter 2. I actually stopped working on chapter 2 to get those 4 pages done, but those will be done in like a couple of days, and then I'll be right back to doing chapter 2. Sweet. And yeah, check out the website. Go to fiendishcomic.com. Back the book on Indiegogo because I'm going to keep it in demand until chapter 2 comes out. Or yeah, I'm going to keep it in demand for a while. I was going to take it down, but then I figured that once people get the book in their hands, they can recommend it and show people, it, probably like by word of mouth, more people would want to back it. So I wanted to still be there, and it's going to be in demand for like another long while. But yeah, go check it out. Back Fiendish now.
Back it.
Do it, friends.
Do it, friends.
Do it, you won't.
Today. Do I even have the link here? I have to get the link.
You don't have the link for your own.
Irene needs a new ceiling.
What? I
need a new ceiling.
Baby needs a new ceiling. Come on.
I had the worst month ever. I had my car broke and my ceiling, like a hole just caved in my ceiling. It was absolutely horrific. So my car is fixed. There's still a dent in it, but it runs. But now I have to fix my ceiling. So hey, help me fix my ceiling, everybody, and also you'll get a cool comic to go along with it. Yeah, there you go.
Maybe you should have a perk for fixing the ceiling.
Probably. Wouldn't that be funny? It's just a picture of the hole in my ceiling.
Yep.
And,
oh boy.
Help Irene save her.
Make it its own campaign.
Dude, I should do that. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Do a signed tier and I'll back again. No, I thought I might sign all the books. I don't. I might actually die because there are so many to sign now. I wasn't expecting to get like over 500
doing
books.
The wood prints, Irene.
I know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm.
Moves quickly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do a sign tier. It always feels a little like conceited to be like, "Ooh, you should pay for my signature." You know, I don't really like doing that. But oh, thank you. It's fiendish, not friendish.
Wait, what if you do it as a stretch goal?
Friendish.
As a stretch goal?
Yeah, so that way you don't have to. You don't have to charge extra.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's a thought. It's a thought. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah, maybe. It'll have to be before fulfillment though, so like all of them can be signed. But I'll think about it. Yeah, I might just end up signing all of them because I just feel like I'm not gonna charge for my signature. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, so next stretch goal is going to be 30K. It's going to be a postcard of the world map. And then after that, if we get more than that, which would be absolutely amazing. God, I can't even think about it. I was totally not expecting to be here. We'll probably do more trading cards. So, because people like trading cards. But yeah.
Amazing. You're almost at 600. What a milestone that is. 600 backers.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is. And thank you all. It's all thanks to you.
Oh
Yeah, and another cool thing about going in demand is when you start shipping, people online will see their friends get the book and then they'll back it. So I always get a boost after I start shipping because people post pictures of it. And more people will get it. Like my first book, after I shipped Magic Cop 1, we got like, after we shipped, maybe like $5,000 more, a bunch more backers.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
over the lifetime. Same thing with the Lost Pages 1.
Yeah.
You know.
Can confirm. Yeah, I think I got over $10,000 added on top of City of Venus.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Good way to go.
Yeah, word of mouth, because people want to wait to see if like the book actually exists. Some people actually wait for the book to be produced before backing in demand, and some people always back in demand just to make sure that they get their product. So that's another like Indiegogo thing. So yeah, I totally understand, and you know, that I totally understand because there are creators that run out with people's money, and that fucks with everybody. But that's what we're here for, to rectify that and correct that record. We'll fulfill
trusted creators.
Yes, trusted creators. Yes. All right. So back Fiendish, everyone, and back Black Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Let's see if we got any more backers. Not yet, but you're one backer away from 150.
That's right. Thank you guys.
Man.
Thank you so much.
So close.
Looks awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brothers.
John delivers. I have Magna somewhere over here that he just shipped me not too long ago, his previous book.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome book.
Hey,
I picked up
you got
a few.
another backer.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Hell yeah. That's a good stream.
I got four more on top of that. That's beautiful.
That's amazing. Man.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is sweet. Thank you, everybody. And thank you,
Look.
everybody.
No. It's all due to your work. I'm just showcasing it today.
And Irene, somehow, even though I didn't show my book off, I got another backer on Magic Cop and the Lost Pages.
Oh, hell yeah!
Nice.
Awesome.
It's the rainy bump.
Let's pretend that was also me. Yeah.
Oh, Irene.
Sign up for the Detonator. That's over on Kickstarter. And I'm going to put all these links in the descriptor. And I'll have to edit it afterwards. But yeah, these will be in the description. And sign up for the Lost Pages Volume 2 by Zaid Comics. Oh yeah. This was a great freaking stream, guys.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
it was a ton of fun meeting all you guys.
Hey James, I'm glad I got to meet you, man. I'll definitely be backing your stuff.
Awesome. Right back at you, dude.
Yeah. Hit me up when you're live for sure, man. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
It was nice to finally meet you. I've been hearing about this project and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that you liked Vinland Saga, I was like, I gotta be on here. I need to talk to another Vinland fan.
Hell yeah. And you'll be back on to promote your book when it's live in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right, why don't let's go do the rounds. Tell everybody where to find you. John, we'll start with you.
You can find me at Beyond Time Inc. on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube. I don't post that often, but I do have some tutorials about writing on there and just character creation, world building. And if you're old like me, the Facebook at BeyondTimeComics.com.
All right, Phil. Where shall we find thou?
At Zaid Comics on YouTube. We have a channel over there. We had Rini on to talk about Fiendish a couple weeks ago. And we interview people, do streams all the time. Monday, we do a stream with me and my buddies called the Hardline stream, where we just talk about random crap and pop culture and all that stuff. So support that. We're almost to 750 subs, trying to break 1,000 this year. And check out Magic Cop 2, which is on Indiegogo right now. We are shipping at the end of the month. This is the reprint of the first one with the Kelsey Shannon cover. It's going to be sick. And then sign up for the Lost Pages too, because that's going to be huge. We got a lot of kick-ass stuff coming from that. And check out Graveyard Shift 4 when it launches the end of the year, because I have a story in there that I wrote for John Malin.
Nice.
So thanks for having me, Ring.
Also on that campaign.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming on. And Vinny Art.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Find me at Vinny Art on YouTube, Twitter, all the social media stuff, Instagram, all that crap. Make sure to jump onto my live streams on Sunday. Again, we have a crazy time over there, and yeah, sometimes we go pretty long as well. But I want to try to do them maybe an hour earlier. That way we get a couple other people on as well, because I know like Katie's been wanting to come on. Miriam from Bonds, she came on last time, but she couldn't stay on a long time. But again, you know, the time difference between certain creators it's a little bit problematic. But check out all that stuff. Again, I have those master classes, so check those out. I have a playlist for all that. I've been doing tour reviews and stuff too over on my channel, again, because I was a former McFarlane designer, lead designer, and I'm a collector as well. And, you know, people seem to really enjoy that kind of stuff. So like I break down the figures and all that kind of stuff. But check all that stuff out. I'm also on Malin's campaign. I have a piece on there. I've been doing a bunch of covers for different creators. Sunsworn, make sure to back that. I got a cover over there. I'm currently working on one for Brian Kriskow with Six Gun Gorilla. I gave them a peek. Yeah, I gave them a peek before we started. But yeah, lots of great stuff, plenty of great creators. So yeah, thank you everybody, and make sure to keep backing Shadow of the Kraken. I promise you it's going to be an amazing book. Over 50 pages, perfect bound. You're going to love it.
All right. Bam. AC and Nick?
You can find me at A.C. Zamudio on Twitter and Instagram. That's it.
And for me, you can find me on Instagram as InkImp, and I have a portfolio on Blogspot, and I'm really easy to find as inkimpcontact@gmail. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can just go to your email, or you can ask me if you have trouble getting a hold of Nick, as usual. I know. Okay, he's rolling his eyes. All right, I'll shut up. But it's true. You're never online. I'm trying to help you.
I always have my email.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. Cool. So, James, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram as James Michael Parrish. If you want any updates on comics I'm working on, or random food pictures, and I also you can also check me out on my Kickstarter for Detonator issues 1, 2, and 3, and I guess I'm on Facebook and Twitter a little bit. You know, it's not even worth mentioning. Just James Parrish on those, mostly Instagram and Kickstarter.
All right, cool. And you can find me at Rini Draws everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, my YouTube channel. If you haven't subbed, you should sub. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs because I want to get monetized, because then I can make some like spare change off YouTube. I don't know. I'll be able to buy a coffee every week.
Same here.
But, I mean, why not? More money. I like money. Yeah. So like the video and join us next week. I stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. EST. And next week I'll have Area Black on. We'll be talking about Tailless. I almost forgot the name. I could see it, but Tailless, and it'll be very awesome. And then the week after, we'll have James on again to talk about his active Kickstarter campaign. So thank you so much for joining, and have a good night, everyone.
Oh yeah.
Night, guys.
Good night, everybody.